Please note, today's episode contains mild but tasteful kink discussion in regards to if it belongs in the book for its rating level. Viewer discretion may be advised.
Hello, Book Crows! I'll be your host today. My name's Beryl, as it always is, and I am joined by my co-host, Thyme. Too much energy. We're gonna keep this in, and just like, we are both dead tired today, and I went from, like, talking like this to, hello, Book Crows, so...
The dichotomy of an actor.
Uh, oh, this is going to be a fun episode. Today we will be discussing Seven Deadly Thorns by Amber Hamilton. But before we get into that, Thyme, through your teary eyes, what book are you currently reading? And have you picked up any books recently?
I did actually pick up some books. Well, some of them I ordered a while ago and they just recently came in. But this is a bit of a spoiler. I decided what I want to do for the next series I want to do.
Oh.
It's going to be both very entertaining and very painful at the same time.
Oh, no.
This is not advertised anywhere, by the way. I was surprised to see it at Barnes & Noble's yesterday. I got this used. I bought all of these used.
So for our lovely listeners, she is holding up a book by Stephanie Meyer, and I will not elaborate which one.
And then, look how fucking thick.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so curious if there's gonna be more. If there's more come out from this. But yeah, this one's a reimagining. So this is a gender-bent Twilight.
I love that. Honestly, I am here for women's wrongs more than I am for men's wrongs.
Ones that I picked up for my own personal pleasure. This one actually has won 3 different awards.
Let's see.
It's called This Is How You Lose the Time War.
Ooh.
And then I picked up Ray Bradbury's The Martian Chronicles.
Ooh. Different things than usual.
Yeah. Well, I also ordered a fancy-ass copy of Fahrenheit 451. I have my original from my annotations in high school. Who knows if I can read my annotations? My handwriting is shit.
Same hat.
But yeah, basically this is like conquering Mars and all that fun shit. So it'll be an interesting read. I did read a little bit of the foreword, which is basically a letter by Ray Bradbury on how he wrote his book. And it has a really fucking hard line in it. Let me find it. After all, he's talking about 50 years from now. He can't mean us. But they're wrong, of course. I do mean us. I do mean you, and the man next to you, and the man behind you. The future is going to be full of McCarthy's and Hitler's and Stalin's and Franco's of one color or another. I'd like to catch them all in a cube of plastic that you can turn over and look at from all sides. That's what a story should be. I want to dangle all the petty little troublemakers and murderers by the napes of their neck for everyone to see.
I love this man.
Right? He also goes on to talk about how people are probably going to call him a communist because he writes about book burnings.
It's so interesting. Like,
yeah.
It's kind of like how in America we teach that Animal Farm is about communism, and in the Soviet Union they taught that Animal Farm was about capitalism.
Yeah, it's all a very interesting circle.
It is.
But my current read, I was going to read Fate Be Changed, but as you know, our now readers are about to find out, my beloved Biscuit passed away this week. And in my grief, I decided to reread The Ghost Cat by Alex Howard. So that is what my current read is. Although I did get a chapter into Demon, what the fuck? Sorry, my demon fell. And Frank's biography. And I'm also still reading Onyx Storm.
Good luck. Also, I love the out of context demon, what the fuck? And
my gay demon fell.
We're not going to explain what that is. No.
So I was perfectly fine reading Onyx Storm. I was like, okay, yeah, this is going, whatever. And then it went to shit. And I'm like, God damn it!
Oh.
Can we stop with the bullshit love triangles?
No. I feel that. I feel that at a real big level. Especially today.
Oh, God. That's some foreboding.
It is foreboding, isn't it? Foreshadowing, guys.
How does that line from the Haunted Mansion go? There's an aura of foreboding. Or something like that. He says it a lot better than I do. Is this haunted room actually stretching?
Stretch. No, it's not stretching. It's all in your mind.
Now I just want to go to fucking Disney and go on the Haunted Mansion again. You know what the most disturbing thing is? So, everyone knows the Haunted Mansion, which is a very interesting ride, considering they wanted it both spooky and not spooky. There was two different designers, and they just shoot them together. For the French one, they went real hard in the spooky for the first half, okay? And it was super awesome. It's a big thing at the French park where they have the Phantom. The Phantom's super fucking creepy. And they have the Crying Bride, and it's way better. But then you get to the graveyard, and you've been having this really spooky-ass time in this really awesome Haunted Mansion, and they still play the song!
Okay.
It's such a massive... Like, Dalton and I were like, what the fuck? It just throws the whole vibes off.
Oh, I love the French sometimes. I actually kind of think that's dope.
I want to go to the Chinese one, because the Chinese one's completely different.
Man, I'm low-key jealous. You know why?
Yeah.
Never been to a Disneyland or World in my life.
I know. Dalton is debating going to Disneyland when we go to your graduation, because staying in Anaheim is cheaper than staying in LA.
Understandable.
But I'm also like, it costs a fuck ton of money.
Yeah.
And I don't really agree with some of the shit Disney's doing right now. So do I really want to give them money?
That's a real good question. I got a problem, though, with that is my family's gonna be there as well. I'm so sorry you have to put up with my dad for a hot second.
You know, we'll just kidnap you, and we'll take you to Disneyland.
Understood.
You know, we can just make your dad really uncomfortable.
That's gonna be hard. He's better at making people uncomfortable than other people are at making him uncomfortable.
That's valid. That's valid.
I feel like talking about Disney is a great segue into this fairy tale retelling.
Okay, it's a fairy tale retelling. Okay.
It is a fairy tale retelling.
What are we retelling today?
Actually, it's Snow White. We are absolutely retelling Snow White. It hits you hard from the very first page that it is Snow White. But also, a lot of the reviews call it Draco Hermione fanfiction, and kind of. If Draco was a bit more of a stabby dude. He
did try and kill someone.
Yes. If he could kill many people and was incredibly capable of killing people.
So if Draco, full-on embraced being a Death Eater.
Yes. Yeah. And was still forced to be a Death Eater at the end of the day, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will say, that is one of the big differences between the book and the movie. A lot of people don't like the 6th movie of Harry Potter. It's my favorite movie.
It's a good movie.
It's my favorite movie because it shows the dichotomy that is Draco. Mm-hmm. Because that is the thing, is while he's a complete and total asshole because of the way he's raised, he does not want to do what he is being forced to do. And it shows that really well. It shows that he's still a fucking child.
Yep. It really shows how people get indoctrinated. And I find it so frustrating because a lot of the Nazi allegories in Harry Potter kind of fall short, in my opinion.
They do.
But the Draco allegory is actually a really, really decently done job.
Yeah, and it also shows that he didn't want to do what he was being forced to do, but at the same time, he also felt that Harry and Dumbledore could not help him at this point. Mm-hmm. Because he felt that they were going to lose.
What I wanted was another Draco that did like what he was doing, so that we could actually have the dichotomy even better, showing a Draco who doesn't like his actions versus a Draco that does.
That's a good point, because that is one of the big things, is a lot of people, and that's part of why there is so many sympathizers today, is a lot of people liked to excuse the behavior, and they got away with excusing the behavior. Mm-hmm. A good example of that is Carl Silverbauer.
Yeah.
Who, literally the point was, people were like, he was just following orders. But the big thing is a lot of the Nazis used that as a way to not be in trouble.
Yeah.
A lot of them knew what they were doing. A lot of them agreed with what they were doing. And when they realized they were going to lose the war, is they started covering shit up. I mean, that's why they blew up the gas chambers at Auschwitz, is because they knew they were losing, and they knew if people found it, they'd be in worse trouble.
Yep. Nobody wants to think of themselves as a bad person. It would have just been nice to have a Draco that didn't believe himself as a bad person, and a Draco that did. But that being said, even though it's Draco Hermione fanfiction as a Snow White retelling, I also want to point out that it's also a Rapunzel retelling. I haven't really seen any reviews that have been mentioning the fact that there is some clear Rapunzel allegories. It's more Snow White than Rapunzel. But bear with me, dear listeners, in time. Definitely got some Rapunzel aspects. Also Star Wars. I also have not seen anybody comment about the Star Wars themes. Maybe I'm not reading the reviews deep enough.
You know, to be fair...
Yeah. I don't think anybody needs to comment on the Star Wars themes, because it's kind of obvious.
I think the most hilarious thing is the video going around. That is the scene in Force Awakens, the remake of A New Hope. And they're like, if you put it in German, it hits really hard. And I'm like, yeah, because they're based on Nazis, you idiot! The fuck did you think? There's a reason he called them stormtroopers.
Yeah.
Hello!
It's the reason why he's called Darth Vader. Literally just dark dad. Evil dad.
At least he didn't name his character Mooney fucking Werewolf McWerewolf Man.
That's a good reference. Fuck. We're not going to get rid of Harry Potter at all today. We might forget about Star Wars until the very end.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. And we might forget about Rapunzel until about halfway through.
I'm so interested to see how much Hermione is in this.
Honest,
I'm not a Hermione shipper, by the way.
You know, I'm bad at shipping. If I only ship if I feel strongly about it.
I watched Harry Potter at a very young age. I was very much into Harry Potter as a child. My sister, my parents called the police because we weren't allowed to read Harry Potter at home. My mom was very Christian. So my sister stayed at the school. The janitor somehow did not see her. So my parents thought she got kidnapped. She was reading Harry Potter. Harry Potter was very big in my house once my dad brought the movies home and my mom realized, oh, the people at my church were wrong. This is not going to indoctrinate my children. No, that's the Hex Girls. Anyway, so really big into Harry Potter. That being said, I do not agree with J.K. Rowling, but that also means I'm not going to go burn my Harry Potter books. However, as an adult, I do look at it very differently than it is as a child. And that being said, if I was shipping anyone with Harry, other than Ginny, because Ginny's better in the books than she is in the movies, it was Hermione.
I was shipping him with Ron.
And J.K. Rowling herself admitted Harry should have been with Hermione. She was also going to kill Ron off in, book 3, and then didn't. But the only other person I would have shipped Hermione with was originally Hermione was supposed to be with Fred, one of the twins. And then she killed Fred off, and I hate you, J.K. Rowling. How dare you do that to my twins? I'm a big Fred and George fan, personally. I don't like Ron. I don't even like book Ron. He's an asshole. I'm sorry. I know people really like Ron. I don't like Ron.
Can I say that I like him because he's an asshole in the books?
He is. He's such a dick. To be fair, the twins were Harry's best friends in the books.
Yeah, more than Ron. I will say, I love fictional assholes. For some reason, fictional assholes just, they make me happy to read.
To be fair, though, fictional assholes tend to be better than real-life assholes.
Yes, it's because they're interesting when they're fictional, and they're annoying when they're real.
Yeah, look at Astarion. Astarion's such a bitch, but we love him.
Absolutely.
It'll always come back to Astarion. The only other person I was shipping Harry with, though, was Draco, because you can make a great enemies to lovers arc there. Because let's be honest, Draco and Harry are obsessed with each other.
Absolutely.
My dudes are obsessed.
And there was 7 books.
The way Harry describes Draco's eyes alone, honey, you wrote a bisexual character and wasn't even trying.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
My favorite fucking headcanon is that Harry should have been the flirtatious bisexual that is just flirting with everyone in Ron's family and everyone goes with it. The twins would have had a heyday. Fucking Charlie? Hell yeah, Charlie would be all in on that.
Okay, let's get back to
We're getting too much into this.
Let's get back to the Snow White retelling.
I love a good Snow White retelling. Let's do this.
Yes. I want to point out that our male lead is Snow White, the prince, and the huntsman rolled into one.
Wait, he's Snow White.
He is Snow White. Because we're going to actually start with page 0. There is no prologue. But this book is separated into, like, there's 7 different break points in the book. All of these are just points in which they're describing what's happening in a fairy tale format instead of the traditional young adult format. But we're only going to pay attention to one of them. Because the rest of them are just, like, whatever.
Not important.
Yeah, they're not important. This first one is a retelling of Snow White from the perspective of making the prince Snow White. So here, the queen saw that her entire homeland was destroyed, and she spilled her blood in the soil and said, "If only I had a child as dire as ash, as perilous as blood, and as nightmarish as my roses." And then she had a baby boy with hair white as ash, mouth red as blood, and heart black as death. And that is our prince character.
Ash is not white. It's gray.
I know.
But okay.
I know. I'm not going to say this book is well written.
That's also just that's a fancy-ass way of saying he's platinum blonde.
Yeah. Our main female character describes him as a marble statue with black eyes. Not black eyes, because he has silver eyes that turn blue at the end once they see the sunlight.
And at last I see the light?
You'll find out. You'll find out.
Okay, a marble statue.
Mm-hmm. But, like, with the blacks of his eyes, because, you know, like, you still have your pupils.
So, my man looks fucking horrifying, is what I'm hearing.
Yes, honestly, completely correct. She also compares him to a beautiful corpse at one point.
Is this bitch into necrophilia?
No, this is when she hates him at the beginning, because this is supposedly an enemies to lovers.
Oh, okay.
When I picked it up, I knew it wasn't a real enemies to lovers, because it was advertised as a standalone book, and it is a standalone book.
So, we hate him, we call him corpse, we think he's hot and hot now, we call him statue.
Oh, the statue and the corpse thing were in the same thought process.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How does she describe him when he's finally, fuckable?
Surprisingly warm.
What? What? Okay. Let's just...
She didn't know he could smile like that. Terrifyingly... Well, I don't think she says terrifyingly beautiful. Also, this is supposedly a young adult book. It's not, but we'll get into that.
Okay.
I have some big problems with this being labeled as a young adult book. But yes, let's actually get...
I'm ready.
Let's get into chapter 1, yeah.
I'm ready for my torture session.
So, we are going to start with Viola. This is our main character, the point of view character. This is not dual point of view, by the way, that we have a single point of view. Thank fucking God!
What, you didn't want it from his perspective where he just wants to murder everyone?
I'm so tired of dual point of view books that are just there to make you sympathize with the male character. This book makes you sympathize with the male character and understand what he's thinking without, like, actually going into his head, and that was a good quality of writing. Like, this book isn't well written at times, but, like, the characters are good characters.
There's so many ways to describe a person. I feel like if they could have just given him a bit more color. I mean, I don't go into great detail when I'm describing people in my book. You know, like, mostly because when she's looking out at people, she's just used to seeing them. Mind you, she doesn't see a lot of humans, but, like, when I describe Calum, who's from a coastal city, I describe him as being, you know, very sun-kissed, very tan skin. However, when I describe Killian, he's paler because he's from a more storm coasty area. It's a lot more like Ireland. So there's a lot less sun there. He is a fucking sea captain, though, so you probably should have a somewhat of a tan, but you could describe people a little better. I'm also so tired of hearing just, like, black onyx-style eyes. Mm-hmm. My guys, like, make it a little more interesting.
I mean, he has his eyes have black pupils and are silver, and it looks like they are, like, there's no light in them, that they don't look human. So she definitely makes the point of him not looking human. She doesn't get a character description for the record, and all of the art makes her look like Hermione, so that's where the Hermione fanfiction halftime comes through as well.
Yeah.
Also the fact that she is the top of the class in a school system that works very much like Harry Potter.
You could describe his eyes as being just fucking like the color of steel if you really wanted to get into it, or
Silver.
like fucking dangerous fog.
Silver.
I mean, I like the amount of times I am a sucker for hazel eyes. My husband's eyes are very hazel. I'm also born. I also have hazel eyes. But mind you, I love me some beautiful blue eyes. You give me some Chris Pine, Frodo Baggins eyes. Hell yeah, I love blue eyes.
Oh.
I've never been attracted to anyone with blue eyes, but I think they're pretty on actors. But the amount of times you just hear blue eyes being described as like cerulean orbs or something like that. You know how I describe blue eyes? When you're looking up at the sun through the ocean. You can get more interesting with your descriptions. Okay, get to the book before I go off more on this tangent.
Okay. I'm now going to reveal the name of the prince because I realized that I didn't do this. And
Wait, what's her name again?
the girl's name, our female lead, who is a commoner by the way, is named Viola. Our prince character,
Viola.
we can call her Viola or Viola. It's spelled the same way. My brain, I play the viola.
Oh, okay.
We can.
But when did you learn an instrument?
When I was 10 to like 17, I know 9 instruments.
I don't think I've ever seen you actually play an instrument in my entire life.
Fam. I did band and street orchestra and marching band. I was in jazz band and choir. What the fuck?
I remember you being in band, but for some reason, I never saw you play an instrument, so my brain went, they don't play instruments.
That's because when we were like hating out, we would always talk about dance and do dance and dance practice, because we did ballet together, and tap and jazz. And then at school, I was, because our dance troupe wasn't part of the school system. That's why we went to two different schools.
At one point, we pretended to be cats. That was fun.
Yeah, I mean, we were 5. That's how long we've known each other.
Okay, so her name is Viola. She is named after an instrument / flower, because there's a viola.
Oh, I guess if it's a flower, it's viola, and if it's an instrument, it's viola.
Languages.
We're gonna have this conversation about this character's name. We're gonna pronounce her name differently between the two of us. Let's get pissed about the prince.
Okay, give me his name. Give me his name. I'm ready.
I was in denial about another prince's name, because I was reading this, and I pronounced this Roz. R-O-Z-E. It has a pronunciation guide at the beginning of the book, and it says Rose.
What?
R-O-Z-E.
What? What?
Also, you're right, it is Viola.
What in the tragedy bullshit is this?
It is an actual real name for the record.
It's
because it's another one of the... I've noticed in a lot of books that I've read that siblings keep being named after flowers.
Wait, are they siblings?
No, they are not siblings. These are the romantic characters. But he has 6 sisters that are all named after poisonous flowers. And he's the only one that's not named after a poisonous flower. Yeah.
I was not prepared.
For a prince named Rose?
No.
You know, if they didn't compare him to roses constantly throughout the course of the book, I could have pretended it was Roz the entire time.
I probably would have thought it was pronounced Roz, too.
Mm-hmm. That's why the pronunciation guide says Rose.
I would not have gotten Rose. Hold on. Where does this name come from?
Oh, that's a good question.
The name Roz is a surname with diverse origins, potentially stemming from French Breton Roz, meaning red, Slavic, related to land or terrain, German from Ruse, for noise, or Ruch, for rough / hairy, Basque, a Roz... I can't pronounce that. Valley, cold, or even Jewish context.
Okay, if it's Basque...
Describing physical traits.
Basque makes sense, because you know where Basque is, right?
I'm shit when it comes to European terrain.
Okay, Basque is a region in what would be on the Atlantic side of what we're talking about here. Northern Spain, southern France. Atlantic side, not Mediterranean side.
Interesting.
Yes, it's actually... They have their own language that is... there in Spain, separate from Spanish, and you can see some influences on both of the languages to each other. I do want to point out, this book is set in Spain-ish, fictional, fantasy Spain. All of the names are very Spanish. All of the 2 names of the 2 different kingdoms are pronounced Aragoa, spelled like Aragon, but with a Goa at the end, and no N. And then Castel, like Castile. We're talking about like northern Spain, southern France already. So that makes sense if it's a Basque.
Yeah, I don't know why. For some reason, European geography could not stick in my brain.
You're valid. I'm the weird person here.
Yeah, I took world geography and law in ninth grade. We had to memorize and do tests to like put where all the countries were on each continent. It left my brain afterwards. I don't know why. That's why I keep thinking Switzerland is over by Sweden.
Okay.
I don't know why. I don't know why. I always I know it's on the continent because of the whole Nazi Germany fucking Sound of Music bullshit. I constantly think it's over by Sweden and Norway
I'm so sorry, dude.
instead of like Finland. I don't know why.
Oh, fam.
I think it's the snow.
Probably. I mean, the French Alps are right there, but also like the Alps in general are just super fucking tall.
Yeah.
But yeah, Prince Rose. And so I guess it is Viola based off of the pronunciation guide. We start with Viola. Ugh, hate saying it that way. A commoner at the only school in the kingdom, stopping the only prince of the kingdom, Rose, from bullying someone publicly. Now, before we get to how all of that went down, let's get into why there is only one school in the kingdom.
Please.
One castle in the kingdom. Because the school takes up a small portion of this singular castle in the kingdom.
That seems bad on security.
The whole system is bad. Because 20 years ago, the kingdom was filled with a magical fog that kills anybody who touches it. And this castle survived because of glass that was hastily made with magic before it was reached by the fog. And everybody believes that the enemy kingdom that they've been at war with for over 100 years is who sent the fog.
Okay.
No comments? Okay.
I'm just gonna go with it. It's so random, but I'm gonna go with it.
You're just like, okay, magical fog that kills people, castle encased in glass. They've never seen the sun or the stars ever in their lives. It is on a lake, for the record.
Wait, it's on a lake,
It's a lakeside castle.
but there was magical fog.
Yeah.
Are they not used to fog?
The magical fog kills people. That's the problem.
How do they tell the difference between the magical fog and the non-magical fog?
Well, the magical fog is always there. It doesn't go away.
Oh, okay. So that's why there's now a glass. You live in a fucking snow globe.
Yeah.
Got it.
They live in a snow globe.
How are they not dead from lack of oxygen?
It's a big enough snow globe to have, like, trees in it and shit. But, like, the trees are dying because of the lack of sunlight. They have an apple orchard in there. It's a small apple orchard.
It runs on Lorax logic.
It does. It runs on the Lorax logic, but also, like, magic. I didn't even think about how they would have died to not breathing. It's also magical glass.
You know what? Maybe it's porous enough that air can get through.
That, like,
But then the fog would get through.
Yeah.
I have so many I'm just gonna go with it. We're gonna go with it. We're gonna accept the magical, somehow, oxygen letting in, fog, outie, magic glass, and they're somehow not dead.
The bigger question is they have, like, this glass walkway at one part in the castle that goes over the lake, and whenever somebody dies, they just either burn the body so that it doesn't have to be buried, or they drop the body into the lake from the glass walkway, because the glass walkway can open up and the fog doesn't come in from that for some reason. Like, the bottom of the glass walkway opens up. So I'm sure they can open up the bottom of the glass sometimes to let in some oxygen.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
The magic system is not well defined in this book. It is the political side of it that is well defined. And the political side of it is not the biggest. It's not the biggest plot point.
This runs on fairytale logic.
Yes, this runs on fairytale logic. It is a fairytale retelling. But back to Viola and Rose. The victim of bullying escapes thanks to Viola, but now Viola and Roz are in a close quarters verbal match. Rose whispers in Viola's ears, calling her a witch, and she punches them over it because she is in fact a witch.
Then how was that an insult? I'm confused.
Because there is a political smear campaign against people who use magic, and that has been used as an excuse to kill anybody who either can use magic or the nobility doesn't like. So, like, there's genocide against people who have magic powers, so witches.
Wait. Magic shaped their fucking kingdom, though.
Yeah.
Wouldn't they be, like, highly regarded? Wouldn't you want to keep them in, like, your good graces so they don't murder you? Or, like, take down the wall?
There is a belief that the magical fog was sent from the other kingdom who has more magic users in it, and so the belief is that magic users are spies for the other kingdom.
Can they get out of the kingdom, though?
No, they can't.
Then how are they spies?
Because it's a fear campaign. Like, it is literally a genocide used to control people with fear.
This is a poor-ass fear campaign. Logic tears it down in 2 seconds.
You're correct. You are absolutely correct. I'm not saying that this was a well-written book. This book was fun, and you do have to, like, suspend your disbelief a little bit more than you normally have to, but...
You know what? There are flat earthers out there, so I'm just going to accept this and move on.
Yeah. And so, first of all, you are born a witch. So Viola has been born a witch, and she has been hiding her strange shadow magic, because we have a shadow mommy, not a shadow daddy.
Okay.
Her entire life after her parents abandoned her over it, and she has no clue how Rose knows anything about her being a witch, because she doesn't use her magic powers, and she's been hiding her magic powers. And her fight instinct just kicked in when he called her a witch, and that's why she punched him.
You know, that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Does he read minds?
No, he doesn't.
He's just a creep, got it.
No, there's an actual reason why he knows. Fun fact, her punching him is part of how he knows.
So he didn't know, then he just called her that just for the fuck all, and then she punched him, and then he did know.
He does know, in a sense of somebody else told him, somebody who he knows probably knows. I.e. his mother. But we'll get into that. And so Viola's friends Cerise and Cole jump in to, like, calm things down, and they go off and attend classes together. Now, there is a heavy emphasis on how Viola knows that Cerise would never betray her, and that Cole is just so nice and cool and makes her blush.
So when do they betray her?
Cerise does know that Viola is a witch. A heavy emphasis on Cerise knows all of Viola's secrets. Viola has been haunted by a little ghost boy for a while now, and she has, for the most part, been ignoring him. And then one last note for these, like, what's been going on with the classes thing. The king died at the Halloween party, which could have been a few months ago, it could have been a few weeks ago. It's kind of confusing. Pick up what I'm putting down. There is a connection there, but I want to talk about that later because I find the connection silly.
Okay.
And ever since the king died, the queen has been upping her anti-magic campaign, claiming that he died to magic. I mean, he was found with magical runes on his body, so that's fair. Also, Viola did not know that he was found with magical runes on his fucking body until later. So that night, after we have our little thing that I just, like, we literally, like, a chapter and a half just completely skipped over with me giving you those details right there. Viola is called to Professor Borge's office to talk to the professor. This professor is a girl, by the way, so don't be confused on who the she is this time. Viola has been working with the professor for a few years on translating ancient runes, because it's an ancient language that nobody can really translate anymore. And they're trying to figure out how to do that so that they can find a mythical book that might have a way to get rid of the magical fog. Because the magical fog has apparently existed before.
So is this a magic college?
No, it's not.
So the professor's just illegally working on magic?
No, runes don't always mean magic.
Ah.
Runes, it's kind of like Norse runes in this case. Norse runes are not magical. Norse runes are literally just their alphabet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're working on a way to get rid of the magical fog.
Yes. To try and figure out how to get rid of it through whatever they can find from the magical book that they have, the mythical book that they have not found yet. Spoiler alert, we do not find this mythical book ever in the book. The story does not have them find the mythical book anytime.
So they technically are working on illegal magic shit.
They got an approval grant through the royalty.
Oh, okay.
Like an exceptional, this is an exception for researching how to get rid of the fog. Oh. And that is stated in the actual book. So, now, the problem with her being called into the office of this professor is that it is 9 p.m. and the classes have been over for hours. She's like, why the fuck am I getting called in at this time of night?
Fair.
The professor, of course, is being super cryptic and annoying on how Viola translates things incredibly literally and how she needs to start thinking a little more figuratively instead of literally, which annoys Viola. And honestly, the professor just needed to be more straightforward with Viola in this fucking scene. Should have been less condescending. But we hate this professor, so This entire scene is designed to make you not like the professor and be happy at the professor's fate at the end of the book. So Viola is then given a book that has the symbol of both kingdoms on it, which is illegal because any symbol of the other kingdom that attacked theirs is considered illegal. So this book having both of them is illegal by nature. Right before a guard shows up who knows that she's a witch.
Okay, so they're framing her.
Hilariously, no.
Hilariously, no. Okay.
Mm-hmm. The guard then takes her to the church for her execution, which he just kind of leaves her in the church with no bindings and hasn't searched her body at all, so he doesn't even know the book exists. He's just like, okay, sit in this church and you'll die soon. I'll be back. So she hides under a table.
Poor, okay, so they want her to escape. Got
No,
it.
he does want her dead.
Then why did he leave her alone?
So that he could get her executioner.
Yeah, but also you left her without... Okay, he sucks at his job.
He does suck at his job. So she hides under a table. Because, no bindings. Nothing stopping her from doing that. It has this lawn tablecloth that hides her. The guard comes back looking for her because he thinks that she's already dead. He thinks the executioner has come in to do the thing. And when he realizes that he can't see her body and doesn't see the executioner, he starts looking around for her, only for Rose to walk in and be like, I've already taken care of it. Go. Leave. The witch is dead. And the guard argues with him because the guard distrusts him. Is like, your mother has been distrusting you for a while. How do we know that she's actually dead? This is how Viola finds out that Rose is the queen's secret assassin known as the Huntsman that is considered half a myth in the story by the characters around her. Which the entire situation makes her start to panic. Because, yeah, she punched this guy earlier today. He's supposed to kill her. He's a famous assassin. She's hiding under a table right next to them as they're talking, so she can hear the whole thing, and loses control of her powers as her shadows leak out from under the table, which reveals her location. In response, the guard tries to reach under the table, and Rose slices his neck.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah. And then Viola, because slicing a guy's neck doesn't actually kill them immediately, he continues to reach for Viola, and Viola then kicks him in the throat. He gets it.
What?
This sequence is incredibly quick. I want you to understand. He gets sliced in the throat, and before he has time to react, still reaching for Viola, Viola kicks him in the throat. So, slice, kick, boot gets stuck in his throat, body gets mangled.
How did the boot get stuck in the throat? How big was the cut?
Great question. All that I can tell you is that her boot got stuck in the fucking throat.
Okay.
The body got really mangled and messy there because of this.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. After the boot...
Wait, why are they doing an execution in a church? Doesn't that kind of, violate the church?
Does a fascist regime need a reason to violate things?
No, but also, why is there a church?
Good question.
Is there God in this world?
Yes.
That raises so many questions.
It is based off of fictional Spain.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there is God in this world. People worship a god, but it is not heavily emphasized in any functional way, so, we can ignore the fact that they're,
It's possible it's not the traditional Judeo-Christian
Oh, no.
God.
No, it is not.
So.
No.
It's just weird that there's a church, then. Most ancient practices didn't... Well, some actually did have temples and shit, so... I guess it could be more like a temple than a church.
This is not an ancient world. This is...
Fair.
This is a more modern world because they have an ancient world that they refer to. Yeah.
I'm struggling with the world building here.
No, you just gotta,
I'm struggling.
We're used to romanticies being set in, high medieval ages. This is not high medieval ages. This is, consider this World War II.
Okay, so they're Jewish.
Basically.
The witches are Jew. You know what? That makes sense, though, considering a lot of witchcraft lore is based on Jewish people.
Yes.
I could go into so many different things on this.
I also...
But also, that still doesn't answer why there's a goddamn church.
Because there could be. Who says that this has to be Judeo-Christianity? This could just be a world where there's a church that people worship in. There was no description of what the religion looks like.
Okay, but if there's a church, I need a description. I need something. You can't just throw a church in there and have me accept.
I want you to understand, there is no description of the clothing. Zero description.
Oh, God.
The description of the clothing is just color and cut. and there's not enough description of the cut to have an understanding of exactly what era the women's clothing is in. We just know that men wear button-ups and on the regular. Like,
that's so exhausting. Even I describe clothes.
I guess she really, like, again, there's no description for the female lead. She just, like, left it up for people to imagine on their own.
Oh, man.
I'm pretending that it is World War II era because there is a country that got nuked. Like, actually nuked.
You know, I recently thought that I should put more descriptors in my book. Anyone who's read it has been like, oh, yeah, it's fine. I think I'm gonna put more descriptors in my book because, by God, I describe more than this.
Yes, most people describe more than this. I'm not upset with this.
To be fair, I have a hard time with this because as someone who loves history and mythology, and mind you, I don't know a lot about Spain,
Mm-hmm.
but my other thing is, to me, it's hard to hear that they're like, oh yeah, there's runes in this, because then I'm like, okay, we're in the Norse area. But we're not in the Norse area because this is based on Spain. But there's a goddamn church for some reason without any explanation about the religion.
Because it's Spain. It's fine.
But that doesn't... I don't care if it's Spain. You have to tell me why there's a church. You can't just throw a church in there in runes and be like, oh yeah, I don't need to explain this. Do you know how many times shit in history got fucked because no one explained shit?
We're in Spain, and the previous, like, empire that was built by a bunch of different smaller countries banding together and agreeing that this was an empire is called the HVE. Like, and, like, that's just the HRE. But instead of in Germany, it's in Spain. I was reading this, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna let this go, and I'm gonna just enjoy this.
But this is a fantasy world. I need explanations.
Oh, that's
You
fair.
can't have fantasy Spain and not give me explanations about what this church is and the runes and the magic. Also, why I'm so tired of hearing about runes. Like, mind you, I have a set of runes right fucking there. Right there.
I want to point out that, like, runes existed not just in Norse. Like,
no, I know.
Okay.
There's Ogrim. There's the Celtic Ogrim.
Yeah.
Which I thought about getting a set of those.
There's Basque runes.
Yeah. But here's the thing. You gotta explain the runes.
Yeah, okay.
You gotta explain if you're throwing runes in. Most people are thinking Norse runes, because it's white supremacy bullshit. And so many books now have Norse mythology in it without people understanding Norse mythology.
Yeah.
Reads by Rachel, while I don't agree with everything she says, did a review of a book, which I looked at, immediately did not pick by, because it's about Freya, and if you know anything about Freya, by God, no.
Yeah.
The shit that Freya has gone through. But I'm so tired of people just picking up a system and just putting it somewhere and just being like, here we go. You gotta give me something. You gotta do some sort of explanation, because people are going to think Norse runes, because that's the popular rune system that everyone knows.
Yeah.
They're like... part of that's Tolkien.
I guess for me, I just consider runes as another, like, the word rune as another word for alphabet, because I'm a weirdo. So it didn't bother me whatsoever, because I just put it into place real fast. Like, oh, this is an ancient alphabet that they can't translate.
Yeah, and I mean, they can't really translate a lot of Ogrim.
Yeah, that's just what runes means. It's just an alphabet we can't translate. And that's exactly... It's the literal definition of runes is what they're using in this book.
But you gotta give me something, okay? You gotta explain the runes here.
I mean, they do it...
Especially if you're going off of Spain.
In a sense, they kind of do. They're just like, it's an ancient language. We don't know. But it's they don't say how far back the ancient language was from their predecessors from a time long before. But I can imagine that it's like 1,000 years based off of how, like, other things in this book are.
I gotta have some world building if you're gonna put shit in.
I need you to understand, this church is only here for this, like, bit with the guard leaving her in the church for her execution.
Yeah.
And then burying the guard underneath the church altar.
So it's probably, like, a abandoned thing. It's not something they actually, like, use.
They use it, but, like, it's not something that is used by the characters in the story past this scene. I will say, there are a lot of cases in this book in which they left some information just there. And I did cut out a lot of these things where they just left the information there and they didn't circle back to that. Which, again, this book is not well written. I'm not going to say this book is well written. I know it's not a well written book. I had fun reading it.
This makes me feel a lot better about my writing.
I had fun reading it. You know, the more important thing to me is not how well it's written, it's how fun it is to read.
Fair. That's fair.
Yeah. I had fun reading it until the end, which is foreshadowing.
That's fair. That's a problem I have, is I want people to read my writing. That's part of why I originally had it on Wattpad until AI became a thing. And then I took it down because I didn't want my writing to be plagiarized. Mm-hmm. Also, there's been a lot of plagiarism of authors' writings recently. Yeah. It's been a really big problem. And my work is very near and dear to my heart because it is my D&D character. There's a lot of me in this character. There's a lot of my husband in the male love interest without me originally meaning for it to be that way. But that's one of the biggest things I have is I constantly am like, I want people to read this before I finish it so that I can gauge how well have I actually written this shit. And that's why I've given it to a few people.
There's an entire job dedicated to that. People get paid to read things for that entire purpose.
I know. And I want that to be my job.
Valid. The job just makes you annoyed at people. You're going to have to deal with it.
I'm already annoyed at people. I live in a world where I have to constantly look at the work that people do and go, what the fuck? And then either shoot it back to them or fix it myself.
Valid.
That is the job that I do every day as an accountant.
Pretty much. That's what accountants do. But let's get back to these two characters removing the boot from the neck and talking. Rundown. The queen controls her son to make him kill by using magic. Yes, the queen is a witch. She wants to be the only witch in the kingdom. Who would have seen that coming? For the record, this isn't when Viola figures out that the queen is a witch. She figures this out, 4 more chapters from now. But, oh no, she puts a magical tattoo on her son, Rose, and that makes him kill people. How did you not figure... Anyways. But yes, at this point, we know that the queen is a witch.
Is it a temporary tattoo or a permanent tattoo?
It is a tattoo that gives him 7 days to kill Viola before he dies. It says that both of them will die if that doesn't happen, if he doesn't kill Viola by day 7. But I don't understand how Viola would die if he doesn't kill her by day 7. Rose doesn't want to kill Viola, and so he has a plan that he was coming up with before he killed the guard. He is going to use her deep knowledge of these ancient runes to figure out who killed his father, because his father had those ancient runes on his arm. This is when Viola finds out that the ancient runes were on the king's arm when he died.
It was the queen.
It was not. It's really funny, because Viola says that in this scene.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's an obvious choice. It's usually either the wife or someone the wife hired.
It's interesting.
Possibly a maid.
Viola points out that,
or butler.
There was clearly, a disconnect of love, and Rose is like, no, my mother loves my father. And at this point, it's hinted that the father never loved her back. But, he goes, no, my mother loves my father to a terrifying degree, and she was with me between the last time he was seen alive and when we both found him together.
There was that one weird professor who was looking at runes.
Yeah. Wouldn't that have made more sense? I'm sorry. I know the ending, and it gets me ticked off every time I remember who actually killed the king. So, he's like, to give us time, we're going to get fake engaged, so my mother has to play by social rules of nobility, and possibly reverse the tattoo situation. While this is happening, you're going to research those runes and figure out who killed my dad and why he died. They work out the details, and then they go hide the body of the guard. You're like, how the fuck does this make sense?
What kind of convoluted bullshit shoehorned ass plot is this?
I love Viola constantly questioning him, and he's just like, this is the only way to make my mother play along. This is the only way my mother... And, the audience can tell...
She could just kill her anyway. She's the queen!
There's a reason she can't kill Viola, actually. But I didn't put that in my summary, and we're not to the point where we actually learn why she can't. But I'll just say it. She has been cursed to not be able to actually harm the witches herself. So she has to...
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But she's still the queen. She could just imprison her to just have someone else execute her.
Wouldn't that be easier?
Also, why does he not want this girl dead?
Oh, you can you could tell from the very get-go with him constantly being like, no, we should just get fake engaged over and over again.
So
he just likes her.
He thinks she's pretty.
Yeah, like, this is not a real enemies to lovers. It's advertised as an enemies to lovers. This man is already infatuated with her from the get-go. You can kind of tell from the first scene where they're interacting, where they're antagonistic towards each other, that he is living for this interaction with her, even though it's antagonistic.
You know, wouldn't it have been more interesting if they had to bond for a bit in like a classroom setting and he actually didn't like her, but also she was the only person that could solve his father's death, even though there's clearly someone else who could solve his father's death, even though I'm guessing he's not the murderer, because you hinted that he's not the murderer, even though it would have made more sense that he was the murderer, but you could have just had it so she was the only reason, so he couldn't kill her because of that. Mm-hmm. And so he hated the fact that he couldn't kill her, and then he fell in love with her over the course of the time.
Wouldn't it have made yes, I'm not disagreeing that, like, making him...
This is a very convoluted, stupid plot.
It is. Especially when it becomes obvious that half of the reason he got faked engaged to her was because he just wanted to find a reason to get, into a relationship with her.
Isn't that so manipulative?
Yeah. Anyways, the next day...
He's making Reese look great. He's making Reese look so good right now.
That's how I'm feeling. He's an interesting character. Anyways, the next day, Rose starts walking with Viola everywhere she goes because he's like, we gotta show everybody that we're engaged. He's very flirty and too good of an actor for Viola sometimes. Such a good actor, but she notes that he is always barely not touching her.
You know that scene from that one movie with the creepy cult village by M. Night Shyamalan where the guy's like, sometimes we don't do things because we want to do them, because the wife was upset that the guy she was interested in wouldn't touch her even though her son was in love with his daughter, so it technically gets a little creepy.
Okay.
That's what I'm reminded of right now.
He actually has a very, very good reason for not touching her.
Is it because he can kill her?
Yeah.
I figured.
It's pretty, like, it's not obvious.
Gloves?
Yeah. He does wear gloves everywhere. He's completely covered up, other than, like, his face and part of his neck, which she can see a tattoo, a different tattoo sticking out of. Poisonous touch, just a good classic. She doesn't pick this up. But she thinks that the reason he's not touching her is because he thinks she must be dirty or something as a commoner, and he's the prince of the kingdom.
Man's a frog.
Okay, all right.
Man's a poisonous frog.
All right. Cerise is hurt by the sudden change of, like, you know how earlier Viola and Cerise, they have no secrets with each other, which, by the way, is a lie. Cerise has a secret with Viola that she has not been saying. But Viola's like, we have no secrets. So Viola had previously told Cerise that she has a crush on Cole, and Cerise is like, what happened? You told me, like, 2 weeks ago that you have a crush on Cole, and now you're, like, engaged to the prince. And Viola lies that she lied back then, and, like, Cerise is super hurt over it, and now they're not talking to each other. And now Cole is being really weird and possessive about the sudden engagement, which is the weakest. This entire interaction is just the weakest, most pathetic attempt at a love triangle between the three characters, because Rose just gets possessive and jealous back, and he wins. Cole is
Question?
Could just not be here.
How old are these people?
18 and 19.
She could have just said, oh, I changed my mind.
Yeah, wouldn't that have worked?
The amount of times in schools and shit where someone's dating someone and then they date someone else like a week later.
Yeah. It's funny. The second page of the book is like, why am I so antagonistic towards him? Probably because I'm a teenager and I have a lot of built up rage. She says 18. I'm 18 and I have a lot of pent up rage. So, like, it acknowledges the existence of 18-year-olds being teenagers and acting like teenagers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, you're right.
I mean, just saying.
We can also say that she was a teenager who wasn't thinking it through.
Yeah, to be fair. You could have also just said, oh, well, he proposed to me and he's the prince, so I said yes because he might, get me murdered or something. He might put me in jail. There are so many ways out of this.
Yeah.
Other than just saying I lied.
Other than the fact that, like, by this point, Cerise has seen Rose acting super lovey-dovey towards Viola. Anyways, it's weird. I'm not disagreeing. I'm not saying it's well written. I'm just saying it's fun. We could talk about how all of the plot holes and all the weirdness going on, but, like, it is a fun read up to a point.
Yeah, I'm sure that if I read this, I'd probably have a fun time with it.
Yeah.
But
honestly, writing the review 3 days after I read the book made me like the book less than when I actually read the book.
that's fair.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to be fully honest, I put the book down and went, I liked that more than I should have, and I'm going to be nicer to it than, I'm going to rate it higher than it probably should be rated.
That's fair.
And even after I finished this review, I was like, I'm still going to rate it higher than I should have rated it, after I said I think I liked the book less than when I finished the book.
Honestly, there's several movies that are that way, where they're terrible movies. Mm-hmm. A good example is The Room. It's a cult classic because it's so bad. Mm-hmm. But there's movies where you have to watch it from a certain lens, or you're gonna think it's terrible. A prime example of that is the Elvira movies. I'm watching it from the view of this is a parody comedy, because it's Elvira. Mm-hmm. My dad, who was watching it with me, was not watching it with that in mind, so he hated it.
Ugh. He never watches anything with that in mind.
My dude, it's Elvira.
It's just let it be. Let it be silly.
Like if you watch Jennifer's Body with a serious lens, it's a terrible movie. I was upset there was not lesbians in this movie.
Everybody's upset that Jennifer's Body doesn't have more confirmed lesbians.
It was literally gay. What's
queer baiting?
The word? Queer baiting. Thank you. I want to say gay baiting, and I knew that wasn't right.
Oh.
All right. Continue.
Okay. Viola also thinks that Rose's possessive and jealous thing is an act that he's doing for appearances. Moving on. We're now going to meet Rose's friends.
Wait, she has more friends? Oh, the other. Rose is the man. Okay. Yeah. I keep getting confused.
I know. We're just gonna, we have to.
I also got really confused when you said the friend's name. It was like...
Cerise?
Cerise. I thought you said Reese.
Oh.
And I'm like, did you say the wrong love interest from the other terrible book series?
No, nope, it's Cerise.
Okay, now we're meeting the man's friends.
The man's friends.
He has friends.
Yeah, he has like 3 friends, and I didn't put their names in this. I think one of them's name is Ed or something like that.
Wait. We have Cerise. Rose, spelled with a tragedy. We have Viola, and then we have Ed.
Yeah.
I'm renaming them. Their names are Grayson, Jaden, and Okaden.
I think one of them is actually named Grayson.
I want you to look it up now.
I'm not looking that up. We're going to skip a lot of things, but while interacting with Rose's friends, Viola notices that they all have matching tattoos. Not the Rose one, the one that I mentioned earlier that is of a moth. So Rose refuses to let Viola know what is going on with the tattoos, but Viola still manages to deduce that it has to be a secret society that they are not allowed to talk about. So now we have a secret society.
Why do you have them showing then?
Right? I don't...
That's terrible secret society shit.
Yeah. So now we get to classes, and I'm going to skip over the classes because it is world building classes that are like, eh.
To be fair, I forgot this book had a school.
Yeah. It's easy to forget about this.
Because nothing's happened with it.
They had classes earlier in the book that I also skipped over.
Fair. One of the big things about Harry Potter, which is something that a lot of places don't do when it has schools in them, which I do give props for Fourth Wing. At least they showed me like one fucking class in Fourth Wing, other than Battle Brief. But that's also a military college.
Yeah.
Harry Potter is very much, you feel you're in a school. You are in classrooms.
Yep.
All the goddamn time. And people often forget that Harry Potter is a jock.
It's true. He is a jock.
There's a lot of other books that have school-like elements that you forget that they're at a school. And for some reason, one isn't coming to my brain. They also do that with the movies. You kind of forget that they're at a school sometimes in the movies.
Yeah, it's easy to get rid of the classroom parts because people think that's boring, but sometimes those are like some of the most important scenes.
Yeah.
And like, in this book, completely skippable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though it's like world building and you're pretty annoyed at the world building so far, I don't think that it did anything to enhance the world building so much more that we need to like talk about it. But shout out to the fact that it's deeply rooted in actual history of cobbling together like 7 different regions in Europe. I was having fun reading that. Like, reading it and going like...
At least it's historically accurate.
I was just reading, like, okay, so she pulled from this history for this part of the world building and this history from this part of the world building. I thought that was kind of fun. But that's also just me being a nerd.
That is one thing that I'm gonna have a bit of issues with when I eventually get to part 2 of my book. Is number one, we're changing a few things from the actual D&D campaign, but one of the characters that was played was deeply based on Norse mythology, and as someone who knows nothing on Norse mythology, well, I know some things, but I don't know enough to actually confidently portray it properly. And I also am just so tired of people using Norse mythology as their way of doing things lazily.
True.
I'm like, I don't want to base it on any one real thing, so I have to find a way to make something.
That's the fun part.
The other aspect is this is a character who is raised by a cult, doesn't know he's being raised by a cult, so everything that he's being told is a bunch of lies.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just coming up with a fucking religion.
Good luck with your religion.
You know what? I should just go look at some cults and have a fun time.
Honestly, looking at cults is really fun just to see what kind of crazy batshit stuff they come up with.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I do have an anthropology minor, and I should just go watch some really fun Stargate episodes.
Hell yeah. That's how you do it.
I mean, everyone knows Thor is actually an alien, right?
Yeah. He's not an alien that throws hammers. He's just a little dude with long limbs and big eyes.
Who really likes Jack O'Neill.
Yeah, he really likes Jack O'Neill. And is a clone, because the Asgard stopped being able to reproduce, and they've just been clones upon clones.
We're gonna get way too much into Stargate if we keep
Yeah, let's get back to what happens after the classes.
We skipped world building. There's a secret society now. Because we need to convolute this more.
Yeah, because we need to convolute this more. After classes, we're also going to skip pathetic love triangle things.
There's more love triangle?
I mean, it's just the one love triangle, and Cole being a piece of shit. And by piece of shit, I mean, like, he is a piece of shit, but he's not revealing he's a piece of shit yet. It's just an annoying love triangle that's there to make a love triangle.
Okay, but also, if you liked this chick, why didn't you say something sooner?
Because he doesn't like this chick.
Exactly.
He doesn't. And we know. Like, literally, Rose tells Viola that the only reason he's paying attention to her is because he wanted to see if he can get in good with the other top student. And the reason why it's even stronger now is because she's engaged to him and he's trying to get in with the nobility as a commoner. Rose absolutely clocks his ass instantaneously. That's what happens during this love triangle bullshit that we're skipping over. Viola wants to go question the professor, and so they go to the professor's office. Professor is not in. So instead, Rose takes her to his mother's bedroom, where a magical mirror only witches can use is. Because, you know, the magic mirror in Snow White. Remember, this is a Snow White retelling.
I had a really hard time remembering that with all of the school love triangle bullshit.
Honestly, while reading this, there is no way you can forget about it while actively reading it. It is so in your face all the time. Remember when we called him the Huntsman as an assassin for the queen?
Yeah, I picked up on that one. Mm-hmm. I will say, I hate when they throw them in your face so much.
Yeah.
That is one thing that annoys the shit out of me.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of fun. It wasn't...
yeah, if it's done right, it's fun.
Yeah, it was a little too in your face, though, I will admit. The Rapunzel elements... Because remember when I mentioned that there's a Rapunzel element, and they're in this giant... This castle that is... You can't leave it. You see that element... Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't even pick up on that, because I was thinking of a goddamn snow globe.
Yeah.
And confused how this fucking glass worked.
Don't worry. The Rapunzel elements hit you a little bit harder later. But there's, in theory, already Rapunzel elements.
You could have made it so much more interesting by picking something other than a mirror.
Yeah. Oh well. By the way, this is how the queen figures out who is a witch and who isn't, and why she knew that Viola was a witch and sent Rose after her. Not like that ever stops the queen from killing who she wants for whatever political reasons.
Yeah.
You know, literally just claim somebody's a witch.
Fascists do what fascists do.
Yeah. So Viola asks the mirror what happened to the king several times, and yes, that is exactly how she words it. She asks, what happened to the king? Only to see her own reflection every time.
She needs to use the secret code.
Yeah. Also, somehow, Despite the fact that Rose is like, only witches can use this mirror, does Viola still not figure out that the queen is a witch?
What?
Yeah.
This girl's stupid.
She is book smart. Like, she takes things incredibly literally.
Okay, I would like to comment as someone who also takes things incredibly literally.
I agree. Okay, alright. I feel it. I'm trying to defend her and I shouldn't be defending her.
I thought Tamlin's hair in A Court of Thrones and Roses was literally gold and not blonde.
Yeah.
I also thought his skin was gold because they comment on how he has like golden skin or whatever because he's tan.
Yeah.
Somehow, even though he's supposed to be like European, British European.
Yeah.
Have you met someone in Europe? They're all pasty ass bitches. I've been there. I know.
Spain.
I drank in your pubs.
We're literally talking about a book set in Spain.
Yeah, people in Spain tend to be. They range because some people in Spain are a bit more tan, but they're not like crazy.
They
tan.
literally
That's
had
part of why
the Moors. The Moors were in Spain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's part of why you have people in Mexico that are more on the paler side and they have the really dark skin. Mm-hmm. Because the Aztecs were a lot more darker because Central America. Whereas people in Spain were a lot paler. You know, conquistadors. I mean, we've all seen what Columbus looked like.
Yeah.
Even though he wasn't Spanish, I don't think.
He was a Portuguese person sailing for Spain.
He was pretty close.
Portugal is on the Iberian Peninsula, which...
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's right there. It's right there.
Yeah, I mean, I was a little frustrated when she finally put two and two together, I will admit, because I was like, wait, you haven't figured that out already?
Also, people who are book smart tend to also be more logical. They would be able to pick up on the patterns a bit more.
Maybe.
Okay, I have a sister who is book smart and one that is life smart. And the one that is life smart asked me how to spell pillow. I don't have much faith in people who are street smart.
That's fair. Okay. But yeah, ignoring the fact that Viola is missing what's looking her dead in the eyes with her own reflection right there, downtrodden, Rose then takes Viola to the Royal Library so that she can research books that are not accessible to the public. Not much happens there. She kind of gets a few clues.
Wait, how did everything smooth over with the engagement?
Oh, we're getting there.
Oh, okay. We haven't gotten there.
We haven't gotten there yet. No, they have dinner here soon because they're going to go to dinner with his family, which has been established that he's like, oh, by the way, we're going to dinner with our family, with my family.
I'm excited for this.
Yeah.
I literally had that happen in my book, where there was the whole plan was that one king wanted them to get engaged, and the other one was begrudgingly hoping that it wouldn't happen because the entire point was he did not want an alliance because he was actually working with the enemy in a way, basically, a la England pacifying Hitler style until things got, really rough. And so the technical engagement thing got announced at a dinner with her family and the king was pissed. And she just looked at him straight in the face and went, "Isn't this what you wanted, father?" It was even more beautiful when you realize that the person she's actually engaged to is gay and in love with her brother and she knows that. And the entire point is she's like, well, we'll be married, but you'll be sleeping with my brother the entire time because you don't actually love me and I don't love you.
No, yep.
Also, I have no idea. I also don't know if they're physically compatible. She's not human.
Wait, who's not human?
She's a siren fairy.
Oh, that's right. That's who we're talking about. Okay. My brain was like, there are two things we're talking about right now.
They are humanoid enough. If it was the other brother, it would work even less because he's more fish. But Caleb would find a way. Caleb would find a way.
He would. You're gonna put Mpreg in your story?
Honestly, it's been talked about because the entire point is there's a magic system in here, and we're like, well, technically, you could revive his soul in another body so he could constantly stay alive and be with Sagar, because Sagar can live for hundreds of years. The king is human and can't, but you could find a way to make him immortal. And the other thing is they could have an heir if we magically switch one of them.
Oh.
Or I could just say that sirens are like seahorses and the male carries the baby.
Yeah, that works too. Anyway.
We haven't discussed how this works yet.
You can figure that out.
The other option was just surrogacy.
Yeah, surrogacy. So, not much happens in the library. Like, she gets a few hints useless hints. I'm gonna...
There's not a sexy library
There-
scene where he backs her into a bookcase.
There's not a sexy library scene. There is flirting, but no.
When does she actually figure out that he's in love with her? Well, I'm not going to say love. I'm going to say infatuated, because this is not love.
Later.
Imagine finding out that the guy you're fake engaged to forced you to be fake engaged with him because he actually was infatuated you this entire time.
Yeah. No, she falls for him like head over heels by the end of this and does not even think about that.
Yippee.
Yeah.
Got a headache so bad right now.
Let's go to the dinner with his family. It goes horribly.
Beautiful. I love
because
it. Give me the drama.
The queen gives Viola horrible hallucinations, like beetles climbing all over her and shit, to try and freak her out.
Why has there not been an uprising against this queen? I know she's a witch. Like, she's a witch and she's a queen and shit. Why has there not been an uprising? Because someone being like, well, she's a fucking witch.
Because she's selective. Also, like, fairy tale logic.
Fair.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna accept it.
Rose's 6 sisters are horrible people and try to force him to have a kiss. Like, try to force the 2 of them to have a kiss. Rose freaks out a little bit over that and...
What? Oh.
Because,
because
he's poisonous.
Poison. He's a frog.
Which, again, Viola doesn't know this, and she thinks that he's just grossed out by her and runs out of the dinner for a hot second. They go, they talk. This is when she finally is, like, Rose is finally like, oh yeah, my mom's a witch. They go back into the dinner. Viola's now a little bit stronger now that she knows that the beetles were a hallucination given to her by the queen. And the royal family decides to throw a big engagement ball tomorrow night.
So that she can be murdered.
Oh, wouldn't that be nice? There is a murder. Spoilers. There's gonna be a murder at this ball.
There is a murder.
But not her. So
damn it.
After dinner, they talk to the queen, who says that she might remove the tattoo if they can prove who killed the king. But she does then tell them that if she does remove the tattoo, they have to go through with the marriage no matter what. Like, she's like, I'm not gonna let you make a fool out of me. Which, like, oh wow, who could have seen this coming when Rose did a little bit of manipulation. So, the 3rd day is here. Because, remember, he has to kill her in 7 days, and the first day was when he got his tattoo.
I forgot this was all over a course of a fucking week.
Yeah. Okay, so... And there's a reason why I said the 3rd day is here. We're going to start calling the days what the days are so that we know what's going on, but, like, yeah. So it's the 3rd day, and Viola keeps questioning Rose about his secret society, and he deflects by telling her to stay away from Cole because we had another moment of love triangle things that are pathetic and annoying, and this is when he actually calls out Cole for being a master manipulator. Then they go to the place where Rose found the king dead, because that's what he wants to do now. They're investigating his father's murder. Of course they're going to go to the place where they found the king dead. Yeah. Go back to the scene of the crime. Well, they go there, and little ghosty boy, remember the little ghosty boy that haunts Viola?
Yes. Who is he? Do we find out?
It's basically little ghosty boy harasses Viola until she passes out.
Do we find out who the ghosty boy is?
Yes.
Yes.
But not right now.
Does he commit the murder?
No.
Damn it.
No. Notably, the little ghosty boy shows up every single time the deal with the king's death is brought up. It's supposed to be hinting at who killed the king, and I don't agree of this being good foreshadowing in any capacity. I think that was weak.
He was killed by a child?
No. Technically, this information and one singular other piece of information that you've already been given is all the foreshadowing you get on who the fuck killed the king.
Even though we don't know who Ghosty Boy is yet.
Once you figure out who Ghosty Boy is and how he died, you'll figure out that like, that's the last bit. And I don't agree that it's good foreshadowing. I genuinely don't. Like, it actually made me angry when it was revealed who killed the king. Because, again, all we get is, we get the little Ghosty Boy, we get the one comment that's already been made, and then we get the reveal of who the Ghosty Boy is and how he died. And that is it, and I disagree that was all you needed. You did not, it needed to be more than that. It pissed me off so much. So, Viola passes out after being harassed by little Ghosty Boy, and Rose takes her back to her room to get rest. But then, as soon as he's gone, she sneaks out to go talk to one of his friends about the secret society. And the friend is like, yeah, I know, you can actually translate runes, and that's actually really a skill that nobody in the secret society has. So, like you're somewhat capable of translating the runes. Not fully capable, but somewhat. And we actually need that skill in our secret society. So come to initiation tonight. Wear a big cloak so that you can get through without Rose knowing, and we'll figure it out from there. So after having that conversation, Viola goes to the professor's office and picks the lock to get inside because she was raised in the slums as an orphan, and so she has those skills. And while investigating, she finds a strange silver stake and keeps it. The silver stake has the same symbol on it as what's on the book. That's why she keeps it. And then Rose shows up and is like, I wanted to investigate this room too, but I guess we're both here. Why are you not resting? You fainted earlier. Why are you sneaking around without me? But there's little time for that because the engagement ball's happening soon, because remember that?
Yeah, that's happening the same night as initiation?
Yeah.
This is gonna go poorly.
Alright, so, at the ball. We get an adorable...
I love a good ball scene.
Yeah. It's an adorable dance scene. This is the emotional tipping point for Viola falling in love with Rose, even though she still denies it, but, like, it's cute and adorable. We get a little bit more flirtatious and needless planning off the dance floor. And then Rose goes away to talk to his mother because he's like, she's said might reverse the thing, and I want to convince her for sure that she will reverse the tattoo. So he goes to talk to his mother, leaves Viola at the ball. Crown Princess Belladonna, who, by the way, even though Rose is the only prince in the kingdom, it is done based off of who is the oldest child, not who is the male child. So Belladonna is the person who will inherit when their mother dies. So Crown Princess Belladonna goes and talks to Viola. We get some character development here, mostly just that Belladonna is gay and isn't happy about one day making an heir and has thoughts and feelings. Anyways.
Fair.
Yeah. We're going to skip over more interactions with Rose's friends. Because Rose's friends are like, oh, we got to get Belladonna away from Viola. And we're going to go right before Rose gets back from his conversation with his mom. Because Viola sees the guard that they killed at the beginning walking in like nothing's wrong. Yeah.
Okay.
I know, something actually incredibly interesting happens. Again, I genuinely was enjoying myself by the time we got to this point in the book, too. I'm not going to say that, like... I'm not saying that, like, something funny. I'm saying, like, having the guard that the two of them killed together walk in at the ball is actually, like, some peak shit going on, you know? It's been fun already. That was insane.
I'm just going to be Uther Pendragon and just be like, sorcery.
It is sorcery. So once Viola and Rose are back together, she's like, hey, the guard's here. We gotta go. So they exit the party, and once they exit the party, that's when the guard follows them and stops acting like a fucking person, starts acting like an animal, and starts chasing them. Yeah.
Okay.
So they're running away from the guard, accidentally run into a room where there's no exits, so Viola uses her magic. Remember, she has shadow magic powers?
Yes.
Yeah. To conceal the two of them in the shadows, which I'm saying, remember, she has shadow magic powers. Like, she's been accidentally using them here and there this entire time. It's not important unless I mention it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So they conceal them in the shadows, which does work. This guard does leave them alone. And as they leave the room, they run into someone who tells them that the queen is dead.
What?
I know, right? Remember when I said needless planning?
So does that mean all of her magic is gone?
You'd think that's how that works. And we're actually going to immediately get into a conversation about that between Viola and Rose.
Or does that mean that it's stuck there and no one can take it off?
We're going to get into it. So, first of all, remember who the last person was seen with, the last person who talked to the queen before her death was?
Him?
Yeah. For some reason, Viola couldn't figure out that the queen was a witch forever, but then immediately figured out that Rose killed his mother. And nobody else figures that out, by the way. Just her and Belladonna doesn't do anything about the fact that, like, her mother's dead, because Belladonna actually hates her mother.
Fair. I mean, man's got poison in his...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most people will die from his touch. Witches won't die immediately from his touch, but will die if he kisses them. So he gave his mom a kiss on the cheek. which also, remember when I said that she punched him and that's what confirmed in his brain that she was a witch? Yeah, it's because she didn't die when she punched him. So yeah, Viola immediately figures out that...
Wait, and the mom let him give her a kiss on the cheek?
Yeah. I don't understand how either. I mean, she is described as a very spindly, like she's been starving herself since the king died situation.
So it's possible she wanted to die.
Probably. Possibly. I mean, also considering how her magic is still around post-death. It's also implied that she didn't care if she died because of, you know, the magic being around post-death. So they go off and they have a conversation about his mom. Basically, when he was talking to his mom, she revealed that she will actually never remove the tattoo because Viola has to die in her brain. And Rose questioned why she has been more spiteful and demanding towards Viola's death than any other death he's been ordered to do. But she refuses to answer that question to him, and that's when he decided to kiss her on the cheek and kill her with his deadly kiss.
You kind of need the information.
Mm-hmm. Now, problem with that is the tattoo is still counting down, and the guard is obviously 100% his mother's magic. Like, the guard was resurrected by his mother, and the guard obviously happened after the mother died.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, at this point, neither of them know how the queen's magic is still around, but they've figured out that her magic is still there. The fairytale thing, remember when I said, literally says that the queen's magic keeps her alive? So, at that point, the readers can figure out that the queen is still around in theory, using her magic from beyond the grave. But at this point, our characters don't know how it happened. And this is also when Rose reveals how he was made. You remember the whole thing where the blood in the... Yeah. When the queen's anger and rage... Because she wasn't pregnant at the time, for the record. The queen's anger and rage over her family's... Her homeland getting magically nuked. She literally, like... This anger and rage took a human form. He was birthed out of not a womb. He is literally the queen's magic. So, we get this, like, cute little scene where he's like, I'm not even a real person, and she's like, yes, you are a real person. He's like, I'm not real. She's like, you think, therefore you are. Okay. Yeah. I mean, if you were made by magic of anger and rage, and you weren't birthed naturally, and you've been treated like shit by your family, because this the dinner scene actually also included the fact that Rose's sisters treat him like shit, treat him like he's not a human. I'm sure he would think that he isn't a person. Anyways, somehow, it is still day 3. And after the ball, we launch in the plan to get Viola into the secret society. Because all of the noble kids were at the ball, and, you know, the noble kids run the secret society, so they...
There's not, like, a lockdown about the murder?
Nope. I mean, when he kills somebody, he doesn't leave a trace. Like, killing somebody with his touch doesn't leave a single trace.
So do they just think she had a heart attack?
I guess.
But I feel like there would still be a, like, they, you know, shut the castle down in some way.
We'll get that in...
Send people home.
On day 4, we'll get something like that. Like, the shutdown doesn't happen immediately.
That's weird.
I know.
They should at least clear the ballroom.
Yeah. I mean, they don't go back to the ballroom after that happened. Like, it's implied that the ball did end early because of the queen's death, but Roz literally drags Viola off before she can say, wait, Roz is the killer? Because she almost says Roz is the killer immediately, and he, like, covers her mouth and drags her off. So, implied ball ends early, but that they just don't go back to the ballroom because of him dragging her off. But now we're going to Viola in a big cloak doing a ritual to get initiated into the secret society, which Rose figures out halfway through that it's her in the big cloak because she got away with not talking for most of the ritual, and then she had to start talking, and halfway through the ritual he pieced it together. Anyways, she's now part of the secret society, and he's not happy about it, but there's nothing he can do. And
why is he unhappy?
Great question.
You don't know?
He doesn't think it's safe for her to be in the secret society, even though the secret society is actually, like, super chill, and it's literally just a secret society dedicated to preserving knowledge. For, like, hundreds of years, the society has existed. Like, the previous king was part of the society.
This boy is weird.
Yeah, I agree. Well...
It's less safe to be around you, kid.
Okay. people who are part of the secret society because they are preserving knowledge that is considered illegal and has been considered illegal. Like, different knowledge was considered illegal hundreds of years ago, but, like, they've been preserving it. It is a crime to be in the secret society, even though they all have matching tattoos and some of them can be visibly seen.
But also, her existence is illegal.
Yeah. Like, he seems to think that, like, he's going to save her and everybody's going to think she's a normal person. Nobody's going to know that she's a witch other than the two of them and Cerise, and that she'll be able to live a normal life after this. And so he's upset that she can never live a normal life again. Okay.
My boy's got weird privilege.
Yeah. Agreed. Regardless, previous king was part of the secret society, and there are tons of ancient books and recent books on topics and references to the other kingdom in here. The royal family, the girls in the royal family are unaware of this secret society somehow, and also Viola is the first woman in the secret society ever. That was like a big deal. Now, moving on to the next thing, we are somehow still in the third day.
It's a big day.
It's a big day. Viola tries to go back to bed, but then she has an epiphany about the book the professor gave her. Remember that thing?
Yes.
Okay. So she goes to Cerise, and they finally talk about everything. They make up. Viola comes clean about absolutely everything. She's like, okay, fine. The queen tried to kill me. This entire thing is to try and keep me alive and figure out who killed the king. I lied to you. I'm sorry about lying to you. Cerise is clearly still lying about something, but Viola doesn't think about it for more than 2 seconds. Yeah. Who's in your bed, Cerise? Don't worry about it. It's not Bianca. Okay, let's keep going and go do the science experiments instead. Like, okay, cool. Somebody in her bed. Anyways. You're like, why are we talking about this? It's actually not important to the story whatsoever that we talk about this. It's just a point that I want to talk about later in the, like, let's talk about some of the plot points section, because we actually doing that this time.
Yes.
Anyways, science experiments on the book accidentally summons a giant snake monster.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And they defeat it and are happy to be friends again. And the experiments did give Viola some nature on the book, like some ideas on what the nature of the book is. Now we're finally in day 4. That was a long fucking day.
I was gonna hope the snake monster would eat them.
No, they kill the snake monster with fire, and then Viola uses her powers to snuff out the fire.
Her powers have that ability.
Yeah. I don't understand it either. Let's not, like, shadow magic is not a defined magic, no matter what system we're talking in. Like,
No, we're not. It's true.
We've got a shadow mommy. We can joke about the fact that we have shadow daddies with non-descriptive powers other than, ooh, shadow magic, all the time. And we can complain about it all the fucking time. It's just the same thing right now, except it's the protagonist not understanding her powers compared to, like, the protagonist not understanding somebody else's powers. So, going back to the 4th day, Belladonna calls Rose and Viola to the throne room, and she demands that Rose finishes his duty to kill Viola right then and there. Of course, he refuses. Some back and forth happens, and they convince Belladonna to let them see the body of the now dead queen, because, you know, Belladonna's the queen. So she takes them to see the body of the queen. There's a lot of reveals here. The fact that the body of the queen, something's happened to it, and other things. They're all small, like, also the fact that, like, we can find out that the queen actually has been using the corpses of dead witches to boost her power. No explanation how that works, by the way. Again, small details that are more about world building and can be completely skipped over. Anyways. But yeah, the most important thing that we find out here is that the queen feeds on fear to gain power. Obviously, she can stay alive after death. We've already established that. So the more fear that is in the kingdom, the more powerful the queen is. And she is now less concerned with court politics because, you know, she's dead and doesn't have to worry about dying anymore, because she's stuck around after death. And she just really wants Viola dead.
Why?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, all of the characters around them, like Belladonna questions, I don't know why you specifically are so important to kill. And Rose is like, for some reason, you're really important and I can't figure it out. Like, the book itself is just like, the characters can't figure it out. There's a good reason. Also, like, it doesn't hit you over with the head with the fact that, like, nobody knows why the queen is so dead set on killing Viola. It's just that they make the comments themselves. Like, I don't get why this is so important, but yeah. Belladonna then begs Rose as the queen is attacking all of them to finish this for the sake of their family in hopes that it will get their mom to leave them alone. But Viola manages to protect her and Rose using her shadows to keep them safe, and this eventually makes her pass out. So we waste the rest of day 4 sleeping through the magical outburst.
And the mom doesn't, like, use the fact that she's now passed out to attack again?
Well, she's now safe. I don't know. I don't know how she goes from being attacked by the mom's magic to using her own magic to protect them and wakes up the next day. I understand how the book said it. This is absolutely a plot hole that I questioned while reading the book. There's a lot of plot holes and weirdness going on that I was just like, okay, that's fun. Moving on. This one did take me out of the book. But yeah, what happened while she was passed out? Here are the basic details. Rose managed to get her out of there somehow and take her to his secret tower where she sleeps to recover. Hey, look, secret tower, princess in the secret tower, it's Rapunzel.
And the mom somehow doesn't just follow them in the corporal death world?
Yeah, I don't understand how the mom does what she does. But what Rose then does is that he hunts down that reanimated guard that they killed before that is somehow back alive, and then he kills the guard and presents the heart of the guard to Belladonna, claiming that it is Viola's heart.
Okay.
Belladonna believed him for less than a day because the queen eventually said, like, no, she's still alive. I would know if she died, even though the queen can't find the secret tower. By the time that Belladonna realizes that it is not Viola's heart, she has already started using the heart as a political message. Not like that sticks around for long. Viola wakes up. It is the 5th day, the morning of the 5th day. And Rose is like, you need to stay in the tower because everybody thinks you're dead or they don't believe you're dead and want to kill you. And you just need to stay in the tower for your own safety. I will get you anything you want, anything you think that will help us figure out how to get us out of this situation. Just tell me and I'll go get it for you. So she gives him a list of things, and as soon as he's gone, she leaves. He doesn't lock the door. Yeah.
Okay, he's dumb, but also she's dumb. And also, why is everyone just going along with they need to kill this girl?
A reminder that Rose is magically linked to the fact that the queen wants this girl dead. He's like, I don't understand what makes you so special, why she cares so much about specifically you. Belladonna just wants their mom to leave them alone.
Just fuck off.
At this point, Belladonna has proclaimed that Viola is the queen killer. So at this point, everybody thinks that Viola killed the queen, because that's the campaign that Belladonna started.
But why?
Because the dead queen told Belladonna that she needed to kill Viola, and Belladonna can't stop her.
But you also hate your mom, so...
Spoiler, it's hinted at in this scene, the scene where, like, Belladonna begs Rose to let things go, because there's a moment in that scene where all of a sudden Belladonna, like, pauses, kind of shakes a little bit, and then, like, almost collapses and then starts breathing, and she talks differently.
That's what all the kids' tattoos are about.
Yeah, so...
Also.
Yeah. Belladonna is possessed by her mom at one point in that conversation.
You know, if I was just the kid, I would just fuck off.
Wouldn't that be nice?
I would have just fucked off.
Remember, fucking off only gets you so far when you live in a snow globe.
But also, like, my brother has a secret super tower thing that my mom doesn't know about somehow.
She doesn't know about the tower either. Like,
yeah, but he could just be like, yo, come with me.
He doesn't like his sister. He doesn't like any of his...
Fair.
Yeah, like, the only family member he likes...
Why doesn't he just kill his whole family?
Great question.
And then he's queen.
Wouldn't that be... Yeah, I mean, he liked his dad before his dad died, and his dad didn't die very long ago.
Why didn't the queen reanimate the dad?
Great question. Probably because the guard was kind of animalistic when he got reanimated.
Fair.
So she probably can't reanimate them perfectly.
Okay. So she fucks off the tower.
Yeah.
Like an idiot.
She leaves the tower. She heads to the slums, which is a giant man-built cave network underneath the castle, because that's where the commoners who didn't have homes were just like, fuck it. We live in between a mountain and a lake. Let's just dig into the mountain.
Fair.
Yeah. So she goes there because she's looking for the professor. Remember, they haven't been able to find the professor, and the professor, you know, the professor who's been very suspicious this entire time. So instead of running into the professor, she runs into Cole, who asks her if she is a witch after they have a little moment. And, like, as soon as she says yes, he's angry at her.
He betrays her.
Yeah, kind of. Like, I don't like this as a betrayal in the first place. But he becomes enraged, and he starts being very spiteful and, like, how could you think I liked you ever? Like, shit like that. Even...
Oh, Anna, if only there was someone who loved you.
Essentially. And he starts, like, getting wrathful about the fact that he could turn her in, and she goes afraid and loses control of her powers, and her powers, while she's freaking out, and she's like, oh my god, Cole's gonna hurt me, her powers react by just snapping all of his bones.
Yummy.
Mm-hmm. So he's dead. And she runs back to the castle, the little boy shows back up to run along with her, and she goes back to the tower. Rose shows up later. She's kind of crying because she's killed a guy with her powers, and Rose is like, it's not your fault.
Again.
Yeah, again.
Again, this is the second guy. But this was someone she knew.
Are you using the guard as an example?
Yeah.
She technically killed him with her boot that time, not her powers. But you are right. It is again, because this is when we find out that the ghost is the ghost of her little brother.
Okay, but she still... The slitting of the throat would have still killed the guard.
Well, it was Rose that slit the throat.
Oh, I thought she did.
Yeah, Rose slit the throat, and she kicked the slit in the throat.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So, the little boy is her brother.
Yeah, the little boy is her brother that she accidentally killed in the same way that she killed Cole when they were kids, except instead of being afraid of her little brother, she was angry that he was stealing things from her. And that's when she lost control as a kid, and that is when her parents abandoned her, was when she accidentally killed her little brother.
I mean, fair.
Yeah. Yeah, Rose is just like, it's not your fault that you couldn't control your powers as a kid. It's not your fault that you couldn't control your powers when you were afraid. Then they have some cute moments that are then ruined. And I'm going to say this. They have some cute little dialogue before they go to bed. And I was going to say that this is a wholesome going to bed moment, but Viola sneaks a peek at Rose changing, and then Rose makes some sex jokes at her before they then go to sleep, but not sleeping together. And then he sleeps on the couch, she sleeps in the bed. Some sex jokes that really caught me off guard. Like, one of the things he's like, what, are abs too much for your virginal eyes? She's responds with strangling him with a belt, and then he makes a breath play joke, and I'm like, this is a young adult book.
Okay, number one, don't peek at your partner while they're dressing unless you're really comfortable with each other.
Mm-hmm.
My husband and I will joke around where, like, I'll be getting ready for bed or something, and he'll be getting changed. I'm like, ooh, you know, stuff like that. And I'm looking at, like, orange boxers. Like, there's nothing visible. Like, but we've been together for 7 years, and we've been married for 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 years. Like, but this is like
this is literally
a couple of teenagers
3 days
who are 3 days. And also, did she literally choke him with a belt?
No, she threatens to do so, which is when he makes the joke about breath play.
But also, why are you making sexual jokes, especially like BDM sexual jokes, when you don't even know each other well enough?
Yeah
Like, there's a level of trust that's needed for that shit.
There is. And also, again, young adult book. Like, I was already suspicious about the nature of this being a young adult book, but the fact that there were 5 fucks before this scene, like, an actual sane fuck.
Yeah.
And then I got to this scene.
Mind you, I don't give a shit about cursing in young adult media.
Yeah.
I think censoring it's bullshit, personally.
I agree, but
there is an age limit.
There is and also, like, there were no, actually, the amount of the fucks were generally in a decent spot. I was still buying the fact that it was a young adult book, despite the amount of fucks in it. The fucks just made me suspicious that there might be a sex scene later, which is why I was so happy when I found out that he was a poisonous frog that she couldn't touch. I'm like, great, no sex scene. Yeah. I'm wrong.
I was kind of wondering if there was going to be one. Like, is his penis, is his semen venom? I'm very curious about that.
We'll get to that when we get to the sex scene.
But my other big thing is, like, again, I am perfectly fine with cursing in media as long as it's like PG-13. I don't see the point in limiting cursing in PG-13 media, personally. Number one, it's parental guidance at 13+. Mm-hmm. I was cursing at a young age. My dad hates cursing though. Like if I say the F word around my dad, he chastises me for language. Like, motherfucker, you guys are the ones who raised me. You wonder why I'm a sarcastic little bitch when I was watching Stargate and South Park at a young age?
Mood.
Hello. But for me, cursing's not a problem. I also, some minute sex things in young adult media I'm fine with, because personally I think that teenagers and young adults know about sex.
Yes.
They're doing it.
Yes.
We don't like talking about it, but they do. I do think it's weird when 40-year-olds are writing about 15-year-olds having sex, though.
It, like, these guys are 18 and 19, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
why, like, my problems aren't, first of all, the swearing is not an actual problem in my mind. The swearing was just like a weird amount of swearing for young adult.
Yeah.
Might have sex scene later. That's not young adult then with the swearing. Just because if it gets past, if that gets past the censor, normally the sex scenes get past the censor. We do not need talking about BDSM in that way.
No.
My problem...
Absolutely not.
My problem is less that it was talked about and more the method in which it was talked about. Something about it just made me go, that's weird. And then the sex scene was definitely more graphic than it needed to be. But again, we haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah, the BDSM stuff throws me for a loop, because that's definitely more, in my opinion, adult media.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to have a certain level of maturity and trust that young adults aren't going to have.
Mm-hmm. It's not like there's actual BDSM in this book. But the joke threw me for a loop.
Well, that also begs the question of, like, number one, this is a man who thinks he can't touch anything. What the fuck does he know?
Oh, in that scene where he makes the breath play joke, she literally is like, how would you know? You can't touch people. And he's like, you can do things with gloves. Yeah.
I mean, fair.
Yeah.
Wait, does that mean dildos exist in this world?
Fingers exist in this world.
Fair. You know what, though? We had a book where someone fucked them with a pencil, so...
Yeah, true. True. Fingers are better than pencils.
Still wondering how sanitary that is.
Anyways. Let's get to day 6. So day 6, Rose has left after they have a conversation and made sure to lock the tower this time before leaving. So Viola responds by...
Because that's not creepy.
I mean, he's just like, don't leave the tower. She wants to leave the tower. And he's like, don't fucking do it. You're going to get caught. You killed a man yesterday on accident. Like, I know it's not your fault that you killed the man, but it was public.
Oh, that was the other thing. That was the other thing I was going to say. Theoretically, at the age of 18... Now, mind you, I am coming at this from a neurodivergent perspective, where I do have times where I have serious meltdowns. But I also grew up in a tumultuous household, where emotions were not exactly a friendly thing to have. Any emotions that were upsetting were definitely very reprimanded. So I grew up in a household where you could not cry or be upset without being chastised. You could not be angry without it being a problem. So by the age of like 18, I feel like she should have enough of a grasp on her emotions that it shouldn't be lashing out like this. I do understand that there is a threat to her life, though.
Yeah. I find it's interesting that at the beginning of the book, she comments about how she's managed to control it for like 10-ish years without any issues.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden during this high-stress situation, she's struggling more than ever. Even the first one where her magic leaked out while she was listening to the prince talk to the guard, I was like, this feels...
Yeah, like I feel like she should have a little more control over it, a la Elsa style.
Yeah. And I get it that, like, a la Elsa style doesn't actually work in real life because, like, exactly what happens to Elsa.
Yeah.
But, like, I agree with you. The way that her powers just, like, conveniently at certain times come out and kill people, it just felt okay. Like, the little brother one makes sense. She was, like, a kid. But yeah. I agree. There's...
Yeah, and I know, like, the big thing is, in Frozen, which had a very similar premise of the emotions are very tied to it, she taught herself how to breathe through it. And the reason why she lashed out was because she was not able to get away it was a very high stress fear situation in public, and she was trying to walk away from the situation so she could go calm down.
And Cole does confront Viola in kind of public. Like, he does take her to like a little place where there's less people, but like they saw her kill him. They know it's her.
The Cole one I understand a bit more. That is a very high, upsetting situation. This is someone who was supposed to be your friend. He's literally threatening you in public, all of this stuff. Again, she could have walked away, but so that one's a bit more understandable. But a lot of the other ones where it's just coming out for no reason, I feel like she could have tried to breathe through it a bit more, especially when she's hiding under a goddamn table and no one knows they're there.
Yeah, I agree. That one and one more were kind of fucking egregious to me. But I'm letting it slide. I'm letting it slide. The rest of the book is enough fun up until the end, which is where the other one happens.
Wait, is the hint supposed to be that she killed the dad somehow?
Yeah.
How?
We'll get there.
When
we see,
which would explain why the mom wants to kill her so bad.
Yeah, it also explains why she saw her reflection in the mirror. And but when I saw her reflection in the mirror, I was like, okay, how is she connected to his death? Because obviously she has to be connected to his death. The mirror is doing the thing.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not happy with how she's connected to his death and how that worked out. Because I have so many feelings on how the reveal should have gone, or how she should have changed it to make the reveal work. Anyways, like I said, they argued in the morning of day 6, where he's like, no, you have to stay in the towers. People saw you kill a person yesterday. They know you're alive. They're definitely hunting you now. You need to stay in here for your safety. And that's when he locks her in the tower, because she's like, no, I'm just gonna go it. Like, you can't stop me. And he's like, yes, I can. Locks us and leaves. Yeah. Now you're with him locking her in the tower this time. Like, he's being reasonable here. She's being unreasonable. Anyways, to continue on with Viola being unreasonable, she then trashes his room as trying to get back at him, which results in her finding a secret passage that he didn't know about.
Can I just say...
Yeah,
Can we act like adults for a minute? I mean, you're supposed to be 18.
Yeah.
This is some, 12-year-old behavior. I didn't even do this at 12 years old.
Yeah.
Mind you, I can be a petty little brat at times. We're supposed to like this character, right?
Yeah, in theory.
Wait.
Look, Rapunzel does Rapunzel
things. I don't know.
Things.
That's some abusive style behavior. Just, trashing someone's things because you're upset.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, I'm not going to say that, defend her at all in this point. I'm just I guess this is happening. The next scene with her going through the passage actually ended up being more than a chapter long, and I'm just saying, I guess this is happening. She gets out of the passageway and finds the professor, in quotation marks, because, oh snap, it's not the professor, it's the queen pretending to be the professor, and now she's drunk poison tea.
Wait, so the professor was the queen the whole time?
No, it's the queen pretending to be the professor.
So she's able to be corporal?
Yes. She is still capable of being corporal.
Okay.
Notably throughout this entire thing...
How did she figure out about the tower?
Oh, no, the secret passage out of the tower. The secret passage...
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So...
she's completely out of the tower.
Yeah, she's completely out of the tower. And that's how she runs into the queen, pretending to be a professor, gets poisoned by tea. A few hours later, she wakes up in Rose's tower again because Cerise found her before she died and already administered an antidote because...
How did she know which antidote to use?
I guess there's not many poisons in a world where there can't get many poisons, I guess. There's only so many options. Cute moment with Cerise before Cerise leaves the tower, and now we have information sesh time with Rose and Viola, mostly to reveal that the professor is in fact in the dungeons and has been in the dungeons for the last 12 hours, which could mean this turns into a cute conversation, which turns into a doomed conversation about what would happen if Rose dies tomorrow, which then turns into sex.
What?
Yeah.
How does that... Is it just we could die tomorrow, let's boing?
It's more complicated than that, because he's just it's comparing what he would do if they got married, and if they survived and got married, versus if they died, and he'd be like, I'd have you either way, yada yada, but yeah. And yes, okay. Sex with gloves, so it's fingers and handies, way more graphic than it needs to be in a young adult novel. Like, yeah, sure, you don't say penis, cock, vagina, whatever. It does not change the fact that it is way too long and way too many details. Does not need to be in here. Like, it could have been a fade to black, and it would have been a better fade to black than it would be if it was actually just, like, a sex scene. I'm saying that right now. Fade to black would have been more effective.
Fade to black is a lot more effective for me in almost every situation because it lets your mind wander.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
he's already established that he does things with gloves on.
Yeah. And I mean, hopefully sanitized gloves.
Yeah.
You know, yeast infections exist.
Yeah.
But my big thing is, as someone who's asexual, for number one, reading sex scenes is hit or miss a lot of the times. Because the big thing is you're supposed to put yourself in that situation. So it's hit or miss a hell of a lot. It's even more hit or miss when I cannot imagine the scene properly. It doesn't help that I have that condition where you can't envision things in your brain.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it's called. But the other big thing is when you let your imagination wander, it becomes a lot better because then I'm thinking about how I imagine it could be based on my own fantasy.
Yep.
And I think more people need to realize that.
Mm-hmm. I think in high school, I told somebody who asked me if I consumed porn and was surprised that my words were no, I literally said in high school, people who need porn are pussies that can't imagine things.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I mean, fuck, my brother-in-law basically accused me of reading smut books. And to that brother-in-law, who will probably never listen to this, because he probably would never listen to anything by a woman, go fuck yourself. Number one, you're 18. I doubt you even touched anyone.
Oh, beautiful.
And I know for a fact there's a high likelihood you watch porn.
Pussies who have no imagination. That being said, a well-written porn scene I will always appreciate. I'm not saying that now that you're a pussy that can't imagine if you consume porn. That was definitely a high schooler's opinion at the time.
Yeah, I mean, if it's done well, it can be enjoyable to read.
Yeah.
It's when it's... For example, the scenes in the Fourth Wing series had no effect on me whatsoever. They physically made me upset. But, you know, I've read some tasteful sex scenes, especially in fan fiction, that are really good. Mind you, I've read straight and gay fan fiction.
Yeah.
Okay? Like, I've read a lot of gay Destiel fan fiction that I thought was really good. I've read some gender-bent Star Trek, where one of them's a woman, one of them's a man. And they were fine. You can do it well. I mean, some of the scenes in Dawn of Onyx I thought were pretty good for porn scenes. Let's be real here. But you gotta do it in a way that... I mean, we were joking about that one Dorothy book.
Yeah.
That had the pet play. Mind you, I'm not into pet play. If you're into that, go on. You do you. I'm not gonna kink shame you. I might make fun of it a little because I don't understand it. But part of that is I don't understand it. Like, my brain cannot compute. Partially because I just look at my pets as cute little babies.
Understandable.
Yeah, but it's kind of like how I am not into slave play, which is a big thing. Yep. I think that's kind of gross, but, you know, some people are into it, whatever. However, when there's scenes that make me uncomfortable, I know there's some people that might think it's comfortable, like that gun scene. Yeah. I don't want that. Mind you, as someone who grew up around firearms, I have a semi-respect for them. I also have a great fear of them.
Yep. Mood.
And it is a justified fear.
We're going to have to put a warning at the beginning of this episode for a young adult book.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating, because when I wrote this, I was trying to figure out if we would need a warning or not. Because I knew...
That is something we have to think about a lot with books, is do we need a warning?
And this one, like, notably, there's no content warnings at the beginning of this book.
Oh.
Yeah.
I feel like there should be.
Yeah, like, the fact that...
Like, there's murder on screen.
Yeah. It's a pretty descriptive murder on screen, too.
There's a book I got recently, and I totally forgot to mention it. I ordered it on Alcrate. And it's not my usual read, because it's a horror novel.
Mm-hmm.
But I got it because it reminded me of that one thing we were talking about from that Asian media. It's literally, the teachers will kill their students.
Oh.
Yeah, it reminded me of that one we were talking about, that zombie one.
Oh, yeah. All of us are dead.
Yeah, because it's literally an institute where on graduation day, the faculty goes on a ravenous rampage feasting on their students.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so it's not my usual, but there is a content warning. Like, even if it's not, I'm pretty sure it's in the book.
It's not that hard to cover basic content warning. Like, I get it, you can't make a content warning for absolutely everything. There's no way that you're going to do that.
Yeah.
But, like, the basics...
Yeah, the content warning is literally the author letter. It talks about how gory it is, and Alcrate has content warnings on their books, on their website.
Yes.
Like, more people need to do content warnings.
It's not that hard to make a basic content warning list. Like,
yeah.
Somebody might not pick up a book because they know that there's going to be a murder on screen. Great, okay,
yeah.
That's fine. Oh, well. Oh, no, you made a little bit less money because people were happy that there was a content... Yeah. It's so stupid.
There's actually an author, and I don't know if I'll ever actually review her books because I don't want to read her books. I did get one of her novellas for free, though, because I have free Booksy, so I can get free Kindle books whenever I want.
Oh, yeah?
And that would be Colleen Hoover.
Oh.
She actually is very against content warnings because she thinks they spoil her books. If anyone knows anything about her books, one of her major bestsellers, which happened to just be turned into a movie that was not marketed properly, it was marketed like a rom-com, has the R word in it because it's a movie about an abusive person. It's literally about domestic violence. And she doesn't believe in content warnings.
It's not that hard. Oh, no.
It's not.
Finding out that abuse happens in a book by an author who writes almost exclusively about abuse.
Yeah, I mean, and Verity is another one that's by her that's supposed to be a love story, and it's a horror movie.
It's all abuse, all the way down.
Yeah, let me see if I can find an actual quote. Yeah, one of the big things is... So, and mind you, this is from the little thingy. It does give links to actual things, though. So, authorial responsibility. Critics question whether Hoover, given her immense influence on book talk and beyond, is handling different topics with enough care. Some feel she normalizes or romanticizes toxic dynamics, while her defenders argue that fictional works are not required to be educational. Ma'am? Hoover has stated in the past she believes content warnings could be a spoiler that takes away from the reading experience. Now, mind you, I know that a lot of people who have had domestic violence love her book, It Ends With Us. However, as someone who has very big issues when it comes to seeing things on screen, and I think I've talked about this in a past book, I am very sensitive to violence. I cannot watch anything that has violence in it because it stays in my brain.
Mm-hmm.
I seen the poster for It Ends With Us, and also the fact that I saw some of the Ryan Reynolds marketing because I follow him on Instagram. I am so tired of him in media, I will be honest. Ryan, please shut the fuck up. I thought that was a rom-com. In my mind, I didn't go see it because I had no desire. But if I had watched that movie, number one, I would be thrust back into my family household. My family was not physically abusive, but it was very emotionally, and at times it teetered on the point where it could have been. I say it wasn't physically abusive yet. My mother grabbed me and shook me like a rag doll when I was 7 because she was mad about a bag of potato chips, mind you.
She pointed a knife at you.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
That was a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Also threatened to stab my sister in the head.
Oh, God.
So for me, I need content warnings.
Mm-hmm.
People need content warnings. I cannot watch a movie that has violence. I walked in on my sister watching a crime show that had a gang rape scene, and it sticks in my brain and sometimes flashes up like PTSD flashbacks, like I'm in Vietnam or some shit. You need the warnings in books. While I can read books easier than watching movies, you still need it. It still sticks in your brain because some people can envision it. I am lucky I can't. But you need those warnings.
Yes.
Because there are people with trauma. There are people who are sensitive to material. You can't just ignore it. And there's also people who have been in abusive, toxic relationships that might even read the sex joke in this in a bad way.
Mm-hmm. There's some tasteless stuff going on. For me, it was fun. But the way sex is handled in this book is a little tasteless, just because it's, again, the age demographic it's supposed to be aimed at, as well as...
What was this marketed to? Was this marketed towards...
It's young adult. It's marketed towards teens.
Now, mind you, teens is a broad...
I know.
Spectrum.
These characters are technically teens, but they're also technically adults, and I don't like that.
It's a gray area where there's a lot of stuff that isn't being... young adult media needs to have not only content warnings, but there needs to be a big review of how things are rated when it comes to books. And that is not saying that we need to ban books or we need to make it so that certain people can't buy certain books. But there needs to be some sort of acknowledgement of what's in the material so that we can have educated buyers.
Yes. If this was not marketed towards young adults, I would have a much easier time. I would be a lot less upset. Also, the fact, if it wasn't for the fact that it feels like these characters are 18 and 19 to justify them having sex and having it on page.
Yes.
Because, just age them down a little bit and make it a fade to black. And then don't have the breath play joke. Yeah. Instantly, it, would make it acceptable for me for young adult. But this is not young adult at this point. Do I want to read about teenagers having sex? No. No, I do not. But I don't mind if there is a fade to black inferencing that the teenagers are having sex, because that's what they do, and oh well.
So, in this book, Daughter of the Pirate King, she's 17.
Oh.
Okay, they don't actually have anything on screen. There's flirting in this book. The actual sex scene is not until book 2, mind you.
Same thing with The Cruel Prince.
Yeah, it's a fade to black. It's a duology. There's a third book that's about a different character in the series. I really loved this book series. Mind you, I don't necessarily love Tricia Levenseller's other books that I've read, but nothing is on screen. I found the chemistry between Raiden and Alosa really good. This got my imagination running. This also partially inspired a little bit of my own character from the fact that, mind you, my character's not a pirate, but I'm also a person who just loves pirates and oceans and everything fun like that. Mm-hmm. There's a reason I had a Captain Jack Sparrow birthday party, okay? I love me some pirates. Mm-hmm. But you can do it effectively off screen.
Yeah.
I was literally wanting it to continue. That is how well the writing was between these two characters. This is the one book series where I'm I want to keep reading it. And that's coming from an asexual person. She wrote it so well, I wanted to keep reading it. But the scene was obviously a fade to black.
We're starting to beat a dead horse.
We are.
Yeah.
Let's continue.
Yeah. So we're at day 7.
Finally. Thank God.
And Rose will die when the sun rises.
Wait, when it rises? Not when it sets?
When it rises.
Okay.
Yeah. So also, by the way, I haven't mentioned it. Viola has had a pet gargoyle that functions like a dog this entire time.
There was a gargoyle and you didn't tell me?
Yeah, sorry. There is a gargoyle.
I love gargoyles.
It's adorable. It does adorable things. It is plot relevant. It's there.
Damn it, now I need to read that gargoyle book again.
It does.
There's a book where the entire point is this lady's trying to, save this sentient gargoyle, and it's super cool.
Aww. This gargoyle wakes Viola up before the sun rises, but after Rose leaves. And if you want to enjoy the adorableness that is Saint Waffles, go ahead. Yeah, I know. The gargoyle is named...
Oh, right. This is the Texan author.
Yeah, this is the Texan author who named the gargoyle after her own pet.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Go read the book if you want to enjoy Saint Waffles. I had fun reading this book up until the end. And remember, we're on day 7, so welcome to the part where it starts going to shit. Actually, it doesn't actually start going to shit quite yet. But it will start going to shit in day 7. So, first of all, Rose has left a note with a rose attached to it for Viola when she wakes up. It's basically...
Is it a black rose?
It's a red rose.
Boring ass bitch.
It goes over how there's a little bit of his mother's power left inside of him, and he wants to give that power back to his mother in an attempt to bargain for Viola's life, and how he loves her so much he can't handle the idea of her death over his, or the fact that like something bad might happen to her, so he's going to go sacrifice himself to save her. This pisses Viola off that he's doing this without talking to her, and that he's sacrificing himself instead of working with her towards a plan, and so she crumples up the note with the rose inside of it. This causes her hand to bleed. That blood gets on the book from the professor. Remember that?
Yeah.
And the blood activates the book.
You know, I understand being upset that he did this without, consulting you.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit of a bitch thing. I also just don't buy these two love each other.
Understandable. He's infatuated. She's horny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like Violet and Xaden with an X.
This is Snow White and Rapunzel if it was straight, falling in love with each other. But yeah, let's have a lore dump. By the way, the lore dump is the last time the story is good.
Okay.
Great.
Throw it out.
All right, the two kings from the opposite kingdoms, the one that's dead and the one from the other kingdom that they've been at war, they're gay for each other.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. But the war kept them apart.
Give me them gay kings.
Yeah, give us them gay kings. That's also why the king never loved his wife, because he was gay.
Wait, they're the kings. Why can't they just,
Well, the kingdoms are at war.
do a merger? Why are they at war, though? They're the kings.
Because they've been at war for generations. Like, they weren't king...
We'll
They've been at war since before the war, before they were born.
Okay, we'll just do a merger. Do a marriage merger. Peace times. This happens all the time back in the olden days.
They tried to do that, and their fathers got in their way, sent them away from each other, playing court politics. I'm skipping over a lot of the court politics that were the other kings keeping their sons away from each other, forcing them into marriages.
But once you're in power, you can do what you want.
Yeah. Basically, their fathers orchestrated making them believe that they betrayed the other through marriages and other things. The other king from the other kingdom, as a princey boy, did sad boy things in response to the marriage thing between the king from this kingdom and the now queen by magically nuking the homeland of the queen, which, that's how we got Rose in the first place. Obviously, they both got married to queens. The queen was always upset that the now dead king never loved her back. And eventually, after years of being upset with each other over the betrayals that their fathers orchestrated, they ended up sending each other letters, realizing that they still love each other and that they want to work things out.
Hell yeah. And the queen ruined it.
Yes. They made these journals. There's one that the one that Viola has, and then there's another one that the other king has.
Other king has.
By the way, he's her dad.
The other king.
Yeah, the other king is her dad. She's the princess.
I was kind of wondering if she had some sort of royal blood for the thing to activate.
Exactly. You got that. So why is Viola in the other kingdom? Basically, when the king was still prince, but after Viola was born, there were some political machinations that were making it dangerous for him to have his heir in his own kingdom. So he sent Viola away to the other kingdom with somebody who was supposed to be her mentor. That would be the professor, by the way, and set her up with a commoner family to just kind of be
keep it on the down
low. He did not expect the fog to happen because he did not order the fog to happen. And the professor immediately abandoned her as soon as the professor got into the thing. So like she had no clue that the professor was supposed to be her mentor that was supposed to teach her how to do magic. And of course she ended up getting kicked out by the commoner family in the end. Anyways, so it's just a plan to keep her safe that all went downhill. And of course the fog rolled in and nothing got fixed.
And the queen caused the fog?
We all figured out by this point that the queen is the reason the fog exists.
Yeah.
We're not going to get confirmation that happens for a bit, but at this point, even Viola is, thinking that might be true. After the lore dump, Viola grabs the secret society to stop Rose from doing the whole giving the last of the queen's power inside of him back to her. She then grabs Cerise and the silver stake that she got earlier, remember that thing?
Yeah.
To break the professor out. The professor explains how to use the stake on the magic mirror to sever the source of power to the queen, because what has happened is that the queen has tethered herself to this world using a magical object. Like, the professor technically gives the on-page explanation, but according to the off-page explanation, this was explained to her by her dad, but was told, like, I don't know how to use the stake, just ask the professor. You just stabbed the mirror. That's the answer.
Yeah.
Grabbing the professor was actually useless and was just used as a method of giving the professor a characterization past the fact that the professor is a child abandoner. So that when the professor ultimately does not get the happy ending that they rightfully deserve of not getting a happy ending, we cheer.
Well, also, on top of that, there's a couple different versions where the mirror is tied to her in a way that's kind of like this.
Yeah.
It's not in the original, though.
Yes. Getting to the mirror, Cerise, the professor, and Viola have to deal with monsters created by the queen. Professor dips because she's a coward. Cerise gets separated from Viola, holding off a monster. So does Waffles.
Not the dog.
Don't worry, the gargoyle reunites with Viola later, but now we get to the mirror because we did not need to deal with these monsters. The monsters were just there to separate Viola from her allies. So the mirror is sentient and doesn't want to be destroyed. But it also doesn't want to be bound to the queen anymore. So a good old conversation with the mirror.
I was literally pulling this out because it reminded me of this book.
This
happens in this book.
Okay. The Twisted Tale, Mirror Mirror.
Yeah, the mirror essentially tries to convince Snow White to be its new thingy. And she breaks the mirror in order to deal with the queen.
Okay. This, just a good old conversation with the mirror, and the mirror's like, she stabs the mirror by the time she starts her conversation with it, and the mirror's like, oh my god, you set me free. The tether is broken. Please do not kill me. Don't finish the job. I will answer questions for you. Another small lore dump. There is light and dark magic. Most light magic users are drawn to this kingdom that we are already in. Most dark magic users are drawn to the other kingdom. That is why there is light magic, dark magic. It functions like the Force. Dark magic is the magic of death and darkness, and light magic is the magic of life and light, because hallucinations are done by light in the way they're doing things.
That's a weird way of doing it. Okay.
Yeah, I can see it.
I feel like hallucination should be...
Mirages exist.
That's true. Mirages do exist, but if we're thinking light and dark isn't good and evil, I guess that's a different story. This doesn't seem to be doing that.
It's saying that there needs to be a balance, because without balance, one becomes corrupt. No matter what, if there's too much of one, it will become corrupt. There's actually a really pretty metaphor in there about how you need the sun to live, but if you look right at it, it burns you, and the stars are it's so dark with the stars out, but then they guide you places, stuff like that. I'm not saying it well, but there is a really pretty metaphor in there that the mirror says. And so because of this extreme imbalance, the countries have taken on the actual characteristics of the extreme magic imbalance. That's an important note. Keep that in mind, dear listeners, in time, that the countries have taken on the characteristics of whatever makes the magic known for what it's known. I'm not saying that because I'm happy about why you have to keep that in mind, but I am saying that because you should be keeping that in mind. Conversation rounds out with Viola asking who sent the magical fog. We don't get an answer on page, but we don't need to know, because at this point we all know. Viola then goes to confront the queen, who has turned the entire castle into people frozen in place with vines that prick them, a la fairytale stuff. Moving past details of that, the queen has possessed all of her daughters now to fight with Viola. And big reveal, Rose is sleeping in the center of the fight. Queen wakes Rose up enough to demand that Viola tell him the truth. So she obviously tells him that she is the princess and heir to the other kingdom, and this hasn't placated the queen yet, who tells her to tell the entire truth. So Viola swallows her pride and reveals that she is who killed the king.
How?
Yeah. Now we get a flashback chapter to the Halloween party from Viola's perspective. Because again, it's been in her perspective from the whole time. Except this time it's a really weird perspective where it's both happening actively, but also it's both first person and second person at the same time. It will just randomly switch to second person for a line or two or a paragraph, and then goes back to first person. Again, not a well-written book. Whatever. Cerise sneaks off to meet a masked noble lady for some fun times. We overhear the queen demand Rose kills someone and him arguing back. Again, switching to second person all randomly in the middle of it. This is when Viola notes that she realizes that this is the first time that Rose has been told to kill her, and the tattoo was only forced upon him because he was refusing to follow the order for the last few weeks, few months. Again, it's not clear when the Halloween party happened. Just that it's a Halloween party. Following that, Viola sneaks away to a dark room that she's not supposed to be in for some reason. I don't remember the reason. Obviously, it wasn't important. She was just in the room. And that's when she meets the king, who knows who she is, but she doesn't know who she is. So he's just telling her that she's the only one who can defeat his wife, and that he knows who she is, and she's super confused why he's saying it. But as soon as he mentions that the reason she's the only one who can defeat his wife is because of her magic, she panics and accidentally kills the man. You know, a la the way she's killed everybody else before, and with accidental panic magic snapping their bones all over the place. Which is why...
Can I...
Go ahead. I have feelings about this, and they're not good.
So, there's a really big trend in having the main female character not intentionally kill people. And this is just a fancy way of having it so that she kills people, but it's not her fault, so she's still an innocent little flower thing.
Give me more Judes. Give me Jude Duarte. Fuckers.
But on top of that, why does she just immediately freak out about it?
Right? And also, no explanation why the runes were there when he died, with her, the way she killed him, for the record.
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah, there's still no explanation of the runes. Unless it happens to be he had some weird-ass magical tattoo shit.
Maybe, but there's no explanation for it. Like, I genuinely don't like this, because you could have fixed it if you just had a little bit more explanation and made it so that she was circling around how he died, and, it was a genuine accident that had nothing to do with her fucking magic. There could have been a way to do this.
Well, and on top of that, this has been from her perspective the whole time. And she just hasn't thought about any of this.
Nope, she hasn't thought about any of this. I agree. She didn't even, freak out at the idea that, the prince might find out. No,
No.
Remember when I said that we had the little ghost boy who has conveniently been around for the rough amount of time that the Halloween party hasn't happened, haunting her, and that he shows up whenever the king... It's just her brother, but it's because her brother died in the same way. By the way, I skipped over her talking to her dead brother and coming to ends meet because it happens while she's heading towards the queen, and we don't need that. The dead brother plotline was actually kind of fucking useless and could have been skipped.
Also, I thought she needed to stab the mirror.
She did. She did stab the mirror.
But the queen's still there because she's possessing people?
Yeah, basically.
Oh.
Her power is still tethered to this world through a certain someone named Rose.
So he has to die.
Yes, but we don't find that out until the last page. Yes, I said the last page. Not the last chapter, not the last 2 chapters, the last page.
But it should be pretty obvious by that.
Yes, yeah. It's not even mentioned. She stabs the mirror, and the mirror's like, okay, she's still around. You still have to defeat her. And they have an entire, the thing the mirror says is that the magic is an Ouroboros with the queen, and the only thing that can kill the queen's magic is her own magic.
Okay.
Yeah. She comes in with a plan based off of that. Wait till you find out what the plan is. But I agree. The reveal that she just straight up killed the king, there's something called dramatic irony. And that is when the audience knows that one character knows something but the other character doesn't. And that creates something interesting. Honestly, if we knew from the get-go that Viola was actively somehow involved with the king and was actually worried about the king's murderer getting out, instead of her just being like, okay, I guess I'm going along with this plan, it would have been more interesting if she was actively thinking about how do I throw him off? How do I survive this without him finding out? Because then it just would be more fucking interesting.
Yeah, a good example of that is the Knives Out movie, which has the same thing. We know who the killer is. This is not a whodunit. It's okay, how is she going to get away with this, but also, what is there still to figure out?
Yes. When she saw herself in the mirror, I knew she had something to do with it. So it piqued my interest, and I was thinking throughout the entire book, okay, how is she related to this? And how does she not know she's related to this? Because she never fucking thought about it.
Yeah.
And I assumed that since she never thought about it, past seeing her reflection in the mirror, and she didn't freak out when she saw her reflection in the mirror either, for the record. I thought, okay, this is going to be interesting because she doesn't know she's involved. But then it turns out she knew the entire fucking time. This is the point that really fucking broke me. This book was so much fun until we get to the last day. Like,
Yeah.
it's not well written. I was 2 chapters and I'm like, oh, this is a piece of shit. It's not well written at all. But I was having fun. This is the point where I was fucking pissed off.
If you had it that she was involved in a way that she was manipulated into somehow causing it, but not know she caused it, that would have been fine.
Yes.
Like, somehow her magic activated something.
Yes.
And she didn't know it.
Yes, that would have...
And that's what the runes were about.
Yes. That would have been an infinitely more interesting story.
Yeah.
We have just enough of a hint that she is connected to him, his death, through the initial mirror scene, where she asks the mirror.
Yeah. There's another author who has this exact same issue, and I haven't read her books. I have one of them. I actually, because I like mystery novels, I wanted to pick them up, and then I listened to a few people who reviewed her books. I think it was Rant Review, who I watched review a few of her books. They're from first-person perspective, and the entire point is this person has killed someone. But the big reveal thing is supposed to be that you don't figure out that they're the one who did it, even though it's from their perspective this entire time.
It's not good.
No, because all you're doing is, like, we cannot be in that perspective and not know.
Yeah.
Like, we're supposed to be in their brain.
There is a way to do it, but you can't do it in first person. Or you have to make them so deranged mentally that, like, the audience can tell that we can't trust them even more than usual. Like, every time you're reading first person, automatically unreliable narrator.
Yeah.
But you have to make it an extra level of unreliable for that to be pulled off in first person.
Yeah. Like, if this was a book about the fucking Joker.
Yeah.
That'd be different.
Yeah. If this was a book where someone was actively hallucinating and they knew they were hallucinating and that things happened during the hallucinations and they don't know what happened, or like they were in denial about what which things were hallucinations and which weren't.
Yeah.
Boom. There, I just wrote a better story in 2 seconds. Anyways, this is the part fucked me up. Again, having so much fun until I got to this chapter. Until I got to this fucking reveal. And full honesty, if it wasn't for these last 3 chapters, this book would have scored 0.75 higher.
Yeah.
Back to the fight with the queen. Rose instantly forgives Viola for killing his dad because it wasn't her fault. We're just gonna breeze by that and like, okay, I mean, guy's infatuated with her to a weird extreme. Let's just go with it.
Manslaughter is still manslaughter.
I mean, he is an assassin. He's done all of his kills incredibly effective. Anyways, Queenie is upset that her son is just okay with this. And she loads up for a super attack. One last super attack. Because at this point, the queen tries to load up for the super attack and is like, wait, why am I not as powerful as I was like 10 minutes ago?
A super attack?
Yeah, she's like, oh, shit. I'm actually disappearing from this world because I have a weaker tether now. And so Viola's like, we have to break the glass. We have to break the glass and let the fog in. Because the fog is the only thing that can kill her because it's her own magic. And it's an Ouroboros and only her magic can kill herself.
That's a dumb plan.
It's a very dumb plan, and even Rose calls it a dumb plan, and she's like, you gotta trust me on this one. So they go and they break the glass, and they're running away from the fog before it kills them, but then there's a landslide, and they're stuck, and the fog is approaching. So in these last moments, Viola tells Rose to kiss her so that she can die, and then as she's dying to his kiss, she uses her powers to snap all of his bones. Intentionally this time. Here's the last chapter. Are you ready for the last chapter?
What in the Romeo Juliet bullshit?
So they open their eyes to a green sunny forest, first time they've ever seen the sun in their lives, in the other kingdom, because when magic became unbalanced, the other kingdom became the land of the dead. Yeah, and Rose can feel that his mother's death is happening because he was the last piece of her power tethering her to the world, and his death plus fog finally destroyed his mother. Also, he can touch people now. Because it was her power in him that was making him poisonous. And that's how the book ends.
Okay.
That's it. Like I said, it was fun for me until the last little bit.
That was a stupid ending.
That was Stephen King level of bad endings.
Like, oh, I want to die with you, so kiss me and then I'm gonna snap all your fucking bones.
Oh, no, she was like, just trust me, we have to die. It was her running theory that when they died, they would go to her, but she doesn't think it on page again. She's like, just trust me.
Just trust me, bro. Why does she have to die, though?
Great question. You think that, like, dying to the fog specifically keeps them from going to the land of the dead? which is her kingdom. And you have to die a different way in order to go to the land of the dead, which also means, why is her brother a ghost then? Like, this was a thought that I had in my brain when they woke up undead, like not even dead in the other realm, because the other realm had become the land of the dead. If the other realm is the land of the dead, what dictates who goes there when they die? This was the second thing that pissed me off.
Also, does this mean that her kingdom is the afterlife?
Yeah, it does. She does say that after things get balanced again, her kingdom will no longer be the afterlife and people will stay dead. Which, again, how did her brother die then?
Her not brother.
Yeah, her not brother.
Well, and on top of that, does that mean that they're not dead?
They're not dead. They are officially alive. When they died in the Kingdom of Light, they ended up in the Kingdom of Death. Alive. Because that's how that magic bullshit, unbalanced magic thing worked.
This is literally just, she didn't want to kill off her characters.
You could have done
but this also means
a better job.
This also means technically the queen shouldn't be dead.
Right? I don't understand. The fact that, like, they didn't stay dead at the end, like, either kill your characters or fucking don't. Because there's other people who are permanently dead in this thing.
Yeah, but because they're the special.
Yeah. No, I was having fun until the end of the book. I was willing to ignore a lot of the other issues that were heavily present throughout the book because I was having such a good time until the very fucking last few chapters, starting with the goddamn Halloween party.
Ugh.
Regardless, this is a 2.65 because, I was genuinely having a blast until the end.
Oh yeah, like, there's some books that I've read recently. It's the Dream Harbor series. Mm-hmm. They're not great. I mean, they're Hallmark movie books. Mm-hmm. You know, they're just something to read comfy cozy. Yeah. They're also horny on main, which, as an asexual reading, I had a hard time. Mm-hmm. I mean, how do you make a candy cane sexy? But, you know, I know they're not great books, but I had a fun time reading them. Yeah. So I'm like, hey, you know, I'll keep reading these. Mm-hmm. They're fun.
Yeah, that's what you need. Not everything that we consume has to be amazing. Not everything we consume has to be high art. It can just be for fun. No. And
exactly.
This book would have been a 3.4 if not for the ending.
Yeah, like, mind you, I am someone who definitely critiques a lot of media, and I critique it quite a bit. I even critique movies, even though I'm not a movie critic.
Mm-hmm. I'm the movie critic
here. But the big thing is, when it's egregiously bad, that's when there's a problem.
Yep. It wouldn't have been egregiously bad if it wasn't for that fucking ending. Like, I know there were world-building issues. I know that there were, like, the magic system was very poorly defined because it was using dark magic, fucking shadow magic. Like, I knew it from the get-go. I was having fun for so long.
Yeah.
Remember, that day 7 had so much fucking shit packed into it, all happening before sunrise.
You know what, maybe it's in the time after the winter solstice, so the sun is rising very late in the day, and maybe they don't have daylight savings.
That would make sense if Halloween was just a few months ago, or a few weeks ago. Who fucking knows?
Yeah, the timeline.
The timeline's a little funky. Like, sometimes it feels like Halloween was a couple weeks ago, and sometimes it feels like it was a few months ago. I think officially the book said something like 2 months since Halloween.
Yeah. Now, there is a book that I feel like probably is going to do this better. It just came in, actually. Ooh. The December Owl Crate box just came in yesterday. So, the book A Fate So Cold.
Interesting.
Just came in. It is one of those where it is a tragedy book. It literally says this is not a love story, this is a tragedy, because one of them has to die. Mm-hmm. I haven't read it yet, but I get the feeling when they stay dead.
Thank goodness. Either kill your characters or don't.
It's also really pretty.
It is really pretty. I mean, it's Owl Crate. Everything Owl Crate does is gorgeous.
I'm upset I wasn't able to get the Lit Joy Ella Enchanted. It's sold out.
Damn, I'm sorry, dude.
Hopefully it comes back.
They do a lot of comebacks for that. But yeah. I had like a bunch of let's talk about that, but we did talk about a few of them. One of them is that fucking ending.
What are the others not talk about?
I have the fact that for being technically a mystery novel, the mystery is kind of shit. By the time we get to the halfway point, I'm like, oh, a lot of these things that we're doing for the mystery are not actually, like, the ball is not rolling on them. So it's not a good mystery. Let's just focus on the romance aspect. It's pretty clear pretty early on that the mystery section was not. And Maybe that is supposed to reference the fact that Viola's the fucking killer, which no, just making the mystery part of the mystery not role does not fix that. So I want to give the author the benefit of the doubt and just assume that this book is more romance than mystery. And that's fine. If you want your romance to have a hint of mystery, it's not a good mystery. The ball does not move properly for it to be a good mystery. That's fine. The characters, they are fun. Just because they're not the most likable characters doesn't mean they're not a blast to read. You know?
Yeah.
I don't have to like them to be like, ah, yeah, that was fun.
It helps, though.
Yeah. But overall, mystery section, meh. Romance, pretty fun. Are they in love with each other? Probably not. Does it matter right now? Because it's been 6 days. Like, I know it's day 7, but, like, they were enemies on day 1. Quote-unquote enemies. That's not enemies to lovers. But, like, 6 days. Okay, great. I guess there's time to actually get to know each other, isn't it? Even though they've known each other for years. They've been going to school together for years. They're in the same house, basically.
You know what's hilarious? The fact that apparently that's something that actually happens
it
in
is.
Europe.
Like, J.K. Rowling did not come up with that system.
It's just fucking hilarious.
The school it's 3 houses, and they're in the same one. They're in the house dedicated to arts and language together.
Wow. I would not have guessed arts and language from these characters.
They're Ravenclaws.
Maybe him.
Why him? we literally, like, arts and letters. This girl is working towards translating an ancient dead language.
Fair, but I mean the fact that he's a bit more on the flowery aspect, so when I think arts and language, I think more like poetry.
Yeah, and he does like poetry. There's an entire thing where he likes poetry and he plays the piano that I completely skipped over.
Whereas her thing is just on decoding runes.
Yeah.
Like, that's cool, bro.
That's letters. That's technically letters.
Yeah, but is it really awesome in her personality, or is it just something she's doing?
Accurate statement. Accurate question.
For example, I am an accountant. I don't give a shit about math.
It's just something you do.
I actively don't like it. It's just my job.
Yep.
Mind you, my degree is in psychology.
Yeah.
My passion is the human brain and other cultures.
Yeah.
How am I an accountant? My sister.
Yeah, your sister got you.
They needed a file clerk.
Nepotism.
And my boss liked me.
Yep. You are correct, though. It is just something she does. She does like poetry.
Yeah.
Like, remember when I said that scene where Cerise runs off to go flirt with a noble lady? Cerise quotes Sappho's poems about Aphrodite, the famous one, at her to try and justify going and flirting with the random noblewoman who is totally not the princess whatsoever, Belladonna. It is. It's confirmed that it is. Even in the flashback scene, she's like, now I know that that's Belladonna.
You know what? To be fair, my other big thing is Ravenclaws would have a lot more critical thinking.
Right?
Like, the motto for the fucking Ravenclaws is a dick
Okay,
joke.
I do want to point out that I'm calling them Ravenclaw, even though it's arts and letters. It is heavier focus on arts, yes. There are only 3 houses because it is science, arts and letters, military tactics.
So, it's just the humanities.
Yes, it's the humanities school.
You know what? I'm going to say it.
Mm-hmm.
Dead Poet Society did better humanities representation.
A lot of things do better humanities representation.
Like, these characters should have been flopping off the fucking poetry thing. They should have been the fanciest fucking kids. They would also be the fucking rebel kids, let's be real here.
It shouldn't have just been a plot convenience point, and it shouldn't have been, like, random character things.
No.
Notably, Cerise, the one that quotes this famous Sappho Aphrodite poem, Cerise is not in the arts and letters school. She's in the engineering science school.
You know, my husband is an engineer. He's a mechanical engineer. His entire life is dedicated to robotics. Sadly, he's not doing robotics. I keep telling him he should go apply at Disney and then we could move to fucking anywhere Disney related. Then I'd have to deal with the heat and I would die inside.
Yeah, but then we could live together.
Air conditioning exists. Yeah, we could live together. Air conditioning exists. Yeah. We could have fun. We would have a fuck ton of fun.
Hell yeah.
Because that's the thing. He loves robotics. He would have a heyday working for Disney. But he is a giant theater nerd. I showed him Dead Poet Society when we first met. It was one of the first movies we watched together. and I encouraged him to get a minor in theater. He sadly didn't get it because COVID happened. He couldn't finish everything for his minor. But he had so much fun working on plays, acting in plays. Because was gymnastics, he got to be a minor role in The Tempest as one of the little fae things. He had a lot of fun. That is the humanities right there. Like, humanities kids are some of the wildest fucking kids on the planet.
Hello. I know.
And I am someone who loves poetry, by the way. I love poetry. I write poetry. I have a DeviantArt I haven't posted on in years dedicated to my poetry. I'm also a dancer. I see dance very differently from other people. These characters should have been way more interesting.
They should have been. I agree. And to be fair, I do skip over the details of them actually doing some of the stuff because it wasn't necessary to the story, which is why I'm saying, like, you could have made it more necessary to the story instead of just being a thing that they do. Sometimes characterization includes making things a little bit more relevant, but also sometimes it includes not making it relevant. I didn't mention the fucking dog for the most of it, but the dog is there doing plot relevant things. It's just not important to actually mention the dog until the dog wakes her up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like he could have done a lot more fun with his flirting if he used his humanities.
He does a little.
Like, come on.
A lot of the reviews complain that he plays the piano once as a way of flirting with her, and then never again.
How does he play the piano to flirt with her? Tell me. Hit me with it. Hit me with it. As someone who does play the piano, not very well because it's been a long time, but again, I was trying to teach my husband to play the piano.
He plays the piano when we first met. While she reads.
That's not flirting.
Yeah.
That's just playing the piano.
Yeah. I know. I'm not saying it was good, and all of like the reviews commenting on it are like, it's not very good, guys.
You know what that reminds me of? Twilight.
Yeah. Let's talk about, like we can talk shit about the fact that the characters are not that great. Why don't we talk about the queer representation in this book? Because it fills me with frustration.
Yes.
Obviously, I didn't mention Cerise getting with Belladonna, even though it's actually an important thing that happens in the book, and by important, I mean not to the plot, just to the characters. Character-driven stories are the best stories. Characters are the most important part of the stories when it comes to, like, making them interesting. If it's not relevant to the plot, I'm not going to mention it, but why is it that, like, as soon as Belladonna came out, I'm like, oh my god, they better not make Belladonna and Cerise together, because Cerise was established as gay from the second chapter.
Are we supposed to like Belladonna because of being with the friend when she was a complete bitch?
It is absolutely used as her crutch to make her feel like a better person. To, like, give her, like, a redemption arc is her gayness.
It's not a redemption arc. You can have gay people that are terrible people.
Exactly. And not just that. Remember when I mentioned that Cerise was upset about being lied to?
Yeah.
Later on, another scene later, Cerise walks by and she's like, if you're dating one of the nobility who has been treating us like shit and has been refusing medicine to our families, and is the reason my dad died because he was refused medicine by the, like, nobility, we can't be friends because you're giving in to the society, like the system that is destroying us. This is a very eat the rich vibe, by the way. There is an eat the rich vibe in this book. Too bad it pussyfooted that message.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She can't just say shit like that and be pissed off at her friend.
Yeah, and so she's like, we're not friends. See, here's the thing. If Cerise got with Belladonna after that, and that's why she changed, I'd be okay with that. Like, the scene where she goes to Cerise in the middle of the night, and she's like, who's in your bed? Is it Bianca? And she's like, it's not Bianca. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about who's in my bed. That's Belladonna in her bed. Like, confirmed Belladonna in her bed. And Cerise, like if that was when Cerise and Belladonna got together, and they've been, like, silently flirting for a while, and that's when Cerise realized that Belladonna is the princess, that would make that scene make sense, right? And, like, I put together at that point, oh my god, Cerise and Belladonna are together. Why? Fuck off.
Yeah.
But in theory, Cerise went up to Belladonna during the masquerade Halloween party. They have been flirting. Apparently, she's just known Cerise has been Cerise for a while now. And she still said that line to her at the towards the beginning of the book. Again, if that fucking scene, that night when the queen died and Belladonna became queen and she ran to Cerise and that's when Cerise found out, that would make Cerise forgiving Viola make sense. But that's not how that actually happened. And it just feels like an editing error, if you get what I'm saying. Like, it feels like it was something that was overlooked. which there's a lot of things in this book that felt like they were fucking overlooked. Some of it I was able to ignore, some of it I wasn't. But yeah, the fact that, like, we get Cerise being gay, and Cerise has been flirting with this girl named Bianca, which, by the way, means that fucking Cerise has been lying. Like, the lie that Viola tells Cerise and is like, I lied to you. That means that Cerise did the same fucking lie that Viola lied about.
Well, on top of that, if it had been she was originally manipulating Belladonna into falling in love with her so she could get what she wanted from her, which was changing how the nobility were treating the commoners and shit like that, and then it became feelings developed from there. That would have also been better, you know, as a way of being hey, you're gonna be the next queen. Well, look at all of this shit that's wrong.
It could have just been better. There are so many ways that you could have...
Yeah.
It was something that was clearly overlooked. Or, like, a plot point that just got dropped off because, again, overlooked. Like, something there. And, again, the fact that we introduce a gay character, several chapters later, we introduce another gay character of the same sexuality. And then they fucking end up at the end together. Could you have had a little bit more lesbians other than the flirting with Bianca? Because, let's be honest, we don't know if Bianca's gay or not. Could we just get a little bit more? Other than the 2 token lesbians ending up together, please, please, please. That being said, the gay kings actually kind of like it. I kind of liked them being spiteful to each other and then making up later.
I like that too. I also like the aspect of showing how homophobic their parents are and keeping them apart in ways that, let's be real here, probably would happen in a society like that.
Society that needs heirs.
Well, and on top of that, I will say the one thing is if he didn't like the queen because of her personality, that is one thing, but you can like someone even if they're not your sexuality.
Yeah.
Like, romance attraction and sexual attraction are 2 very different beasts.
Yes. And to be fair, the queen is a bitch.
Yeah. Like, the queen being a bitch, I completely understand why he wouldn't fall in love with her. I am very curious why she was in love with the king, though.
Yeah. That being said, 7 kids, 6 of them might be born. Like, it's implied that all 6 of the daughters are live births. And that Rose is the only one, the only boy is the only one that's not.
Well, then again, I mean, people have hated their spouses for centuries and have had kids, so never mind.
I mean, the man seemed traumatized himself by the queen's love, and I think it was trying to imply that the queen does not okay things to him without saying it, but I might be grasping at straws there.
That's fair. Also, like, just get rid of her.
Yeah. Yeah, just get rid of her. You're the king, dude.
Just get rid of her. You're the king. You just get rid of her.
She is a super powerful witch at the same time.
That's true. It would be really hard to do, and he was probably fucking terrified of her because of that.
He was like an alcoholic who was struggling to get through his everyday life, and it's implied that he was using alcohol to get through his marriage.
You know what? Something I wonder. So in the little glass dome, right? And there's that water. Can they swim under the water to get away from the mist?
They can't actually get to the water. The water is filled with corpses.
Oh.
Yeah.
Boo.
I know.
But also, does that mean the king is now reunited with his lover?
I guess that would be implied, wouldn't it? But the other king doesn't know that the dead king is dead.
So then no.
Yeah. Why? Only the 2 main characters are the ones that come back. Everybody else stays dead.
Is it something like her magic makes it so that they're dead?
I don't know. Well, then she killed Rose.
Yeah.
Like, it would make sense if it was his magic on her that brought her back to life. Why did... And also, the death fog hit them in the first... I don't... The whole death thing at the very end and them coming back to life absolutely does not follow any of the other rules stated in going on with with the rest of them. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand. It genuinely, they just needed to wait for the fog to kill his mother, and the fog would have dissipated. Like, that's how you got rid of the fog. So it's just a matter of, like, they needed to find safety until the fog naturally dissipated. I don't understand why she couldn't have just had them make it to safety, instead having to kill them. Well, I guess because he needed to die for his mom to die as well.
Yeah, he needed to die.
Like,
just push him in the fog. Just push.
Yeah, because then you could have this entire thing where, like, the fog killed the part of him that was part of his mother, and that is...
So he's a Horcrux.
Yeah, and he survived through the power of something else, and I would have accepted that more, honestly. I would have accepted a Deus Ex Machina that didn't break the fucking rules. Because that's the thing about magic. It's magical fog with a magical little boy. I say magical little boy, he's 19, but still. Like, you could have made that work. Magical fog, magical boy, magical queen, come up with some other bullshit other than, like, the two main characters are specials who somehow break the fucking rules. You can just make a new rule.
I don't know. I don't know. Who's the author of this?
Amber Hamilton. This is her debut novel.
Amber? We need answers, Amber.
I don't need answers.
Please.
I need Amber to rewrite the ending.
Amber? Rewrite your book, please.
Yes, please. Anyways, the only other thing that we haven't talked about that's on my list of things to talk about is the fact that the aspects of Rapunzel in Star Wars, and because obviously the Snow White thing is very prevalent throughout the book, and so is the Harry Potter thing.
And the Rapunzel thing is the tower.
Yeah. Also, let's just admit it, the Gothel figure for Rapunzel in this is the professor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, her being in the castle from the get-go, being trapped in that little snow globe castle, genuinely was just her being Rapunzel. Like, the entire time she's Rapunzel. It's just that she also gets locked in a tower at one point.
Yeah. And that really didn't need to be there.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of... I probably wouldn't have got the Rapunzel vibe if not for the tower itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, I appreciate the light hints of Rapunzel throughout this. So it's Snow White, but man, ex-Rapunzel. I like that. Could have actually just skipped all of the Draco and Hermione stuff, and I would have enjoyed it a little bit more if it was just Rapunzel, Snow White.
You would like the retelling series that I have.
I am so kind to fairy tale retellings. You have no idea.
They're really good. They're really good. I read them while we were on our cruise.
Hell yeah.
Because I was sick and I was awake when Dalton was asleep. So I was just reading them the whole time.
Hell yeah. Star Wars feels pretty obvious. Light and dark side. They're unbalanced. They need to get rebalanced.
That also is just... There's something else that's pricking my brain when it comes to that. I don't know what it is.
I mean, the description of the Queen is very Palpatine-esque at times.
Yeah, but there's also Evil Queen.
Yeah, she's the Evil Queen without a doubt.
It reminds me of the Evil Queen from that one movie with the I think it's Snow White and the Huntsman.
The Kristen Stewart one?
Yeah.
It kind of does. I don't know. It felt like there's another thing that it's referencing, because it doesn't feel like it's 4 things. It feels like there's 5 retellings. But I can't figure out what the 5th one is.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I like stories that make me feel like I'm missing something. And there are definitely enough points in this story where I'm just like, okay, that happened. We're just going to skip over it because... and accept it and suspend my disbelief a little bit more. But also at the same time, I feel like I'm missing something. And I do like that about this story. I don't know if I'm gonna like it once I figure it out.
Yeah, well, and the balancing of light and dark, life and death, it's something that's in a lot of different things. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Star Wars is the big one that kind of jumps out, especially since it's so modern. There's also a lot of people really like Reylo.
Yeah.
Which is whatever.
I like Reylo. I'm sorry.
I just didn't really give a shit about the new Star Wars movies.
The new Star Wars movies, hit or miss.
Yeah, they had some interesting things with her and Kylo and with the Force being able to interact with and talk to each other. My big thing with it is I just didn't really care for Adam Driver.
Okay.
He's whatever.
I thought the acting was amazing. I guess I don't understand why people think he's hot, but I don't understand why a lot of people think men are hot. So I normally don't say anything about that. But, like, I see his acting. Man is a good actor.
Yeah, his acting was fine. His acting was fine. I just didn't really care for the character of that he played, is the big thing.
Yes, honestly.
I didn't really like Kylo.
Kylo Ren was completely being propped up by his like, romance with Rey.
Yeah. You could have done a lot better. Rey also just had a shitty ass... The backstory was bullshit. Bringing back Palpatine was stupid.
Honestly, Finn was the best character.
Yeah, they kind of butched it.
It's because people were pissed off about a black guy being lightsaber wielder, force user, main character. They were also pissed off about Rey at the
Dude.
same time. I'm.
They were. They were pissed off about her being a woman. But on top of that, like, fucking Sam Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson, yeah. I mean, but he wasn't.
My belief is that he is still alive. I'm sorry. I will not accept that Mace Windu died. You think he died from falling out a goddamn window? Please.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of the Jedi Order that actually managed to survive. So I'm willing to believe.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah. I mean, there's something going on with this book. Again, it was genuinely good until the... Well, not genuinely good. It was genuinely enjoyable until the end. I've said it a million times. Yeah. I'm going to keep saying it.
That's fair.
It just feels like there wasn't a... Like, the editors... It feels like it's a first draft at times. All that you changed between your first and second draft were the most important logic errors and the grammar and nothing else.
Yeah, that's fair. I feel like if this was in the hands of a better author, or if a better editor, this would have been a lot better.
Yeah.
Like, they needed someone to tell them, hey, you need to fix these areas. Yeah. And, I mean, I made a big deal about needing to understand a bit more of the world building, but honestly, that's on the back burner to the mystery aspect that sucked ass.
To add to it, I skipped over a lot of the world building. Like, I'm not upset about the world building as somebody who actually read the book. Yeah, and you're just upset about it because I did not explain. Well, also, it's not the best world building. I'll say it. It's not the best, but I didn't have a problem with it.
Yeah, well, and sometimes world building I can skip over if I'm reading a book and I'm able to get engrossed into it enough. But
yeah,
the mystery part is really lacking, and you can't have us be in her head while also then going and not giving us all the information. If it had been from his perspective, it might have been better, since he didn't know.
And like, ooh, no, I'm a murderer. I don't like to be a murderer.
Yeah.
Just make her a murderer, but then make it so that she didn't know she accidentally killed him somehow. Like,
yeah.
That would have... There's so many ways that you could have fixed the issues we're having.
I feel like... I do wonder, this author's from Texas, so I wonder if she is more right-leaning, and one of the big things with right-leaning people is women have to be a lot more subdued. They can't be big, strong, do too much outward. So they're a lot more afraid of things like female rage, female empowerment, females... Mind you, I say female rage because that's how the term is, but they're a lot more afraid of women doing things that could be considered more masculine, and murder kind of falls under that aspect. I mean, more men do violent crimes than women do. Yeah. So I do wonder if that is the case. So they were too worried about making this character too strong and independent. You know, she has to be saved by the man in a way. But at the same time, she has to save the entire world because that's how we're doing shit.
It might just be too Hermione quoted.
Yeah. The big thing is, we've had enough of women being too meek. And women being too meek means that they lose agency. And we need to stop writing female characters that don't have agency.
Yeah.
If that means that a female character kills people, it means a female character kills people. Like, let's just be real here.
I'm going to add to that. Giving her more agency doesn't mean that she's making stupid decisions, like going out of a tower when her life is actively in danger. Like, that is not more agency. Yeah. That is intentionally making your character stupid for the purposes of plot. And honestly, she didn't need to escape the tower that day. Honestly, it felt like that entire thing was just there to skip over the day.
Yeah, well, and on top of that, and again, I don't use this example lightly, but one of the things I have in my book is once the main character gets tired of her father not doing anything to help the other kingdom, she renounces her title and leaves. She joins the love interest crew that she spends most of the rest of the book on the ship with him. But the thing is, she has been trained how to defend herself her whole life. That was a big thing. She knows how to use a sword. But the other thing is, her brother also taught her that if she is in a situation where her life is at danger, use anything you can, but also get the fuck out. So when she comes across pirates who want to literally murder her, she realizes she's in over her head.
Yeah, that's fine.
And that is not making her a Mary Sue. It means she has to grow, which then leads to, training montage a la Mulan style or whatever. Like, why couldn't we have this character maybe realize she's in over her head with her magic, or she needs a better way of figuring this shit out, or, oh yeah, I accidentally killed someone, I'm going to, I don't know, maybe get shit under control. Like, this entire time she's constantly going, oh no, I killed someone, I'm a terrible person, but then not doing anything about it. Any last minute thoughts?
I think we covered it all.
Alright, Book Crows. I do apologize that I am not doing Fate Be Changed as our next episode, but join us in our next episode. It is a very cozy, comfy episode where I will be talking about The Ghost Cat by Alex Howard.